Okay, so we're back for more of Lostbelt 5 Olympus. We're gonna finish the rest of that, the sections, or the chapters, what you call that. So anyway, the day to bring down gods. I miss Musashi. She sacrificed herself, and now puts in that spirit agent lost saying data lost. What's going on? What the hell kind of bullshit magecraft was that? The hell do you think you are? Raining meteors down to me like it's no big goddamn deal? That shit was at least as powerful as Zeus's damn thunderbolts. Of course, this is the same magecraft I used to defeat Zeus. Though only the one time. So, would you agree this display of might is enough to show that I am worthy of being your master, Canis? Now, are you willing to form a contract with me, your summoner, and rise up against proper human history? God damn. Guess that bit about him beating Zeus wasn't bullshit after all. Ha! No thanks. I don't take orders from any man. Especially not the kind of man who tries to make me obey by force, just cause he's stronger than me. You think I'm strong? Me? I'm not. I'm a weak, fragile human. Even this victory only came at great personal cost. I only managed to win by using every trick at my disposal. You would easily beat me if we were to fight again now. Like how I would? This bastard hasn't even worked up a single damn bead of sweat. I'm not trying to compel you. What I seek is a mutually beneficial relationship. You're just a heroic spirit I need. I want your help. I'm sure you'll find my plan to be to your liking. In fact, I'd even say that, in one sense, you'll find it irresistible. You see, while I have truthfully declared that my goal is to end the world of humans and build a world of gods. No, on second thought, I'll go ahead and tell you everything, just between you and me. Huh? And that's the true nature of my plan. Now, do you see what I mean? What? What the hell are you thinking? Why would you tell me that? The hell am I supposed to do now that you basically told me you mean to betray Olympus? Okay. The hell am I supposed to do now that you basically told me you mean to betray Olympus? Told me you mean to betray Olympus? Okay. But besides, shouldn't you be telling secrets like that to someone more obedient, like the Dioscuri? You still don't understand. I told you this precisely because I knew I could trust you. Me? Of course you can't trust me. You know how I said I don't take orders from any man? Well, I was lying. It's not just any man. I don't take orders from anyone. Man, woman, human, or God. You know why I ended up in this body, right? Because I'm a killer who hates everyone, God and human alike. Yes, I know. You hated the gods for their flaws and tyranny, and humans for being weak, yourself included. But even though you were so enraged and despondent as to rend your own body, you still chose to survive instead of taking your life. Ultimately, you asked to see God who wounded you and whom you hated more than anyone, for indemnification, and were turned into a divine spirit. You didn't do it to become a god like Poseidon. You did so to ensure you would never lose all hope for yourself again. Don't talk about me like you know me. Try again, and I'll put my spear through you, even if it's the last thing I do before one of your meteors crushes me. Yes, I'm aware of the potential consequences if I misspeak. But there's no need to worry about meteors. Didn't I already tell you you'd win next time? Here, see for yourself. Huh? The hell are you taking your gloves and cloak off for? What do you The hell? Why are your hands so wrinkly? They've been like this ever since I was brought back to life. You're the first person I've ever revealed this to. I've forgotten how good it feels to dress lightly. To tell the truth, I've always hated wearing cloaks. Uh-oh. Now I can't help but want to keep going. Okay, I think I'll take my shirt off too. Huh? Now what are you talking about? First you bring up Poseidon, and then you start taking your clothes off right on this beach? Not even Zeus would insult me like this. Damn, you look terrible. Thank you for your honesty. It's refreshing to hear the truth spoken so plainly. You could give Prometheus a good run for his money, at least in terms of sheer emaciation. Of course, I expect this probably a more fitting example in your fancy religion. So what about that scar on your chest? How come that one isn't healed? Oh, this? This happened back in my hometown before I came to Chaldea. It was a curse designed to damage my magical circuits directly. My father inflicted on me when I was a child. Afterwards, I was shut away in the basement for several days. That's how I got this. Shut away, huh? That's a real gentle way of putting it. It's the only way I can put it. Anyway, to make a long story short, I made it out of that basement, made my father retire, and successfully assumed leadership of my family. That was the point when my objective became clear. I swore then and there that I would find a way to overcome betrayal, oppression, discrimination, prejudice, fear, jealousy, anger, anxiety, all the human weaknesses and defects that cast a pall over our lives and minds. Canis, your summoning was no accident, nor was it a compromise. You are my first, indeed, my only choice. As far as I'm concerned, you were the first to show it could be done. I haven't told anyone else my true objective. Not Zeus, and not the Dioscuri. I came to you because I believe you're the only one who will understand how I feel, and why I made the oath I did. So, how about it, Canis? I have enough power to shock you to your core, but my body is not nearly so tough as yours. I may be overwhelmingly strong, but not so much so as to make the opposing side give up in despair. Am I correct that makes this a particular enticing offer for someone as annoying, hard to please as you? You were just gonna call me annoying, weren't you? Perish the thought. Alright, I got it. Now hurry up and put your clothes back on before my bloodlust starts to fade. By the way, I would like to make one thing clear. I am, of course, not an exhibitionist. I'll never forgive the gods of proper human history. The gods of this Lostbelt can piss right off too. Same goes for humans. Don't give a shit what side they're on. They're still all just a bunch of hairless apes. That being said, you have to be out of your goddamn mind to come up with a plan that crazy. I love it. Alright, Kustaria, you win. I'll play along with this scheme of yours. I'm gonna be using you for my own ends, so it's only fair you go ahead and do the same. Heh, so you're gonna protect Olympus and bring back the Age of Gods, huh? Heh, talk about a careful choice of words. This has got to be the crudest scam ever. That bastard Zeus has no idea who he's team up with. This is a storm border. I expect you probably know what's happened by now, but just to be sure, we succeeded at severing Chaos's connection to this space-time. I can confirm that, as of this moment, they have been permanently sealed away. However, the storm border sustained significant damage over its long voyage, and we're currently far off course from the Great Shrine. It'll be about an hour until we repair the ship and can return to your present altitude. Silkross, MASH, Sherlock Holmes. The Tree of Emptiness has begun to make its way down to the ground, towards Olympus. Da Vinci thinks it's trying to make contact with the Earth's surface. One thing's clear right now, the tree's internal magical energy is continuing to rise, and shows no sign of stopping. There's no time to wait for us to come back you up. I'd like to go ahead with the operation to cut down the Tree of Emptiness immediately. I should also tell you that the signal for the servant who handled the chaos situation has been lost. And her record in Chaldea's Rear Urgent Graph, stored on the ship now only says, data lost. That's all I have for you right now. Good luck. Musashi. Data lost. That's every last Olympian machine god dead. So what gives? Do these idiots not understand that means our truce is over and we're enemies again now? They're all so wide open, it's ridiculous. Damn it. There's no reason not to sneak attack him right now. Alright, guess I'm doing this.
Canis, do not be so quick to sully your honor for the sake of your master. There are as many different masters as there are people, are there not? Would yours, himself a man of honor, be happy with you ending things in this manner?
So you're as considerate as you are insightful, Mr. Holy Progenitor. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do it. They all just look so pitiful that I couldn't help but think about it for a moment. Remember our agreement? I said I'd only help you lot out until we take down Zeus. Now that's done, I'm gonna go head back to my boss. With Zeus dead and Chaos gone, he's all set to swoop in and take everything for himself. Hell, I bet he's hanging out in front of the Tree of Emptiness, looking all smug even as we speak. That's right. You're still Kristarius? Yeah, that's right. I'm that pretentious show-off servant. Always have been. Always will be. Still, I'll say this for the bastard. He's worth it. And I'll tell you this too, Sopras and Mash. He's worth fighting, and fighting as hard as you can. I might be a misanthropic killer, but that much I can say for damn certain.
Worth fighting as hard as you can.
Canis, how can we reach the Tree of Emptiness's roots? What? You need me to tell you that? Isn't it obvious? See that palace off to the side from the Cronus Crown? It leads right to the tree's roots. Of course, it's losing altitude along with the tree now, so you'll have to go up to the Machia corridor first. From there, just keep heading up. You'd have to be complete idiots to miss it. Let me give you one last word of warning. This goes for you too, twins. Us? If you don't want to die. No, wait, that's not right, is it? If you want to stay alive as long as possible, then get out of Dodona and go back home while you can. I'm gonna kill the Chaldeans one way or another. They got no choice but to fight. But you two...
We're not going anywhere. We swore to put an end to this world, and that's just what we're going to do.
That's so. Alright, got it. If it's death you want, I'll be glad to give it to you. And while I'm at it, I'll show you what a real master is like too. Got anything to say in response, Sopras?
Let's just get this done.
It's time to cut down the Tree of Emptiness. Right, that's the most crucial mission we've been entrusted with.
Well done. It seems there is nothing left for us to say.
Holy Progenitor Romulus. Holy Progenitor Romulus. Is it just me, or is your body glowing even more brightly than before?
It's not that, Europa. That's his spirit urgent dispersing. It means his manifestation is almost over. What happened, Holy Progenitor Romulus?
Forgive us. Unfortunately, we will not be able to join you for your battle against the mage who grew Atlas. The opponent you must defeat at all cost. Though either may have summoned us here, we retain a Grand Class Spirit Urgent. And the only time a heroic spirit with Grand status appears is when the final showdown is close at hand. And while, owing to this Lostbelt's own peculiarities, 2 Grand Servants were summoned here, we made the same choice the other did, to protect this world rather than eradicate to our enemy, escorting the Storm Border to avoid spent the last of our magical energy. Soon, our Spirit Urgent will vanish. Whatever battles are yet to come, you will now need to fight them alone. We hope you can forgive us.
Thank you for helping them get there, It's okay. We've got this.
We see. Then we leave the rest in your hands, O Mage of Modernity. If, in the battles to come, you should encounter a foe that threatens to shadow your very soul, look to the sky. Emptiness. Or, to think of another way, space with which to dream is within grasp of all who reach for it. Even that which lacks form can serve as fuel for the heart. Furthermore, emptiness belongs not to the gods, but to humans. Do not be afraid to reach out and take it. Do that, and your hands will reach even those terrible heavens as surely as ours.
Was that an earthquake? No. That shaking was the floating shrine starting to move. Now that Zeus is gone, Olympia Dodona has begun to lose power. We best be on our way, Mr. Sopras. It appears we don't have much time left. Okay, here we go. There, I've made it to the ground safely. No hostile detected in our vicinity. Go ahead and jump down, Master. It's okay, I'll catch you. Ooh. You okay, Soapboss? I can't believe you need help getting down from a little ledge like that. I guess people from proper human history are even more fragile than I thought.
Stop that, Macarios. You know he doesn't have the same protections we do.
I do, yeah. Sorry, Soapboss. I'll be more careful from now on. Nice catch, Mash. Thank you, Master. I'm just glad I could help. Ah, please get back in there, foe. We're almost certainly going to be fighting another battle soon. All the many defensive mechanisms that were in place have shut down. The quakes have become more frequent as well.
So it would seem. I can no longer sense Lord Zeus's light from within the Cronus Crown. The Cronus Crown controls the Crystal Mountains and their massive magical energy supply. It gave Lord Zeus the power to wield many different kinds of authority. So the fact that it has shut down must mean it's only a matter of time until the shrine falls to the ground.
Then we better hurry. We just need to keep heading up from here, right?
Yes, there's a small purification temple inside the palace. It should have a path that leads to the dream of emptiness.
What's this place? A table that differs significantly from Olympian design. 7 chairs. A modern-day magical circuit in the room. It seems most likely that this is the cryptors' meeting room. I expect this is where Kustalia and the other cryptors. Attention, my fellow cryptors evacuating to Olympia Dodona. If you're hearing this, Zeus has fallen to Chaldea, and the Tree of Emptiness now belongs solely to me. The moment is at hand. The Tree of Emptiness is stored, magical energy has reached a critical point. Now that my Tree of Emptiness, Atlas, is about to fully bloom, our contest to grow our Lostbelt and determine the next course of human history is over, and I've won. I only hope that you're all still alive to hear this. I'm sure you have many thoughts, but I hope you can accept the new world that will soon be upon us. Farewell. That was Kustalia. Then that corridor must be the one that leads to the Tree of Emptiness. Huh? Master, the woman we saw in the Russian Lostbelt standing in front of the corridor. Huh? What are you talking about, Mash? There's no one near the corridor.
Macarios right. There's no magical energy there either. Are you okay? Are you sure you're not just exhausted?
Huh? But I can see her right there. Plain as day. I guess this means the twins can't see her. Come to indicate our instruments can observe her in Russia either. Well, this one. Perhaps she wishes to tell us something. Or perhaps she's some kind of random phenomenon. Regardless, we have no time to deal with her now, as it seems she won't be getting in our way. It may be best if we moved on and ignored her. Yeah, I guess you're right. I know you're right, but she seems like she does want to tell us something. Forget about the invisible girl and come on! We're almost at the end of this! What are you scared of at this point? This guy completely kicked your asses in Atlantis, right? Don't you want to return the favor this time? Yeah, you're right. Right now, I'm just going to focus on Kristaria. Right. Well said, Master. I'm so sorry. I wish I knew what it is you want to tell us. Next time, I'll make sure to hear what you have to say. But right now, I have to go.
You know, even I can never tell what it is you're thinking. Tell me, priestess, did you want to stop them? Or did you want to kill them here and now? I see. It goes without saying, does it? Then, as I suspected, you simply don't care one way or the other. Understood. In that case, I won't interfere with their battle either. Perhaps Kristaria's inhuman resolution and unshakable willpower will prevail. Perhaps it will be the daring and unpredictable Chaldeans who carry the fate of humanity on their shoulders. Or perhaps our luck will prevail over them both, even after making enemies of everyone. Regardless of what happens, as a lone priest, I will simply watch and see what form of the foreign god's own truth will take.
So, that's the Atlantic Lostbelt's tree. Huh? That's strange. I'm not getting any response from Sheba. I'm not seeing anything in the way of confirmed future attack patterns with future prediction either. It looks like it doesn't have any hostile intent whatsoever. What? Does this mean this tree of emptiness doesn't possess... What? Does this mean this tree of emptiness doesn't possess any means of attacking its enemies? Or perhaps that it has no need for them? So, this is tree of emptiness, Atlas. Even I have never seen it this close before. It really does look like there's a galaxy inside an empty tree. I mean, I could see that from the ground before too, but... Yeah, seeing it up close is somehow overwhelming. I mean, it's definitely beautiful, but
more than that, it's terrifying, I take it. I feel the same way, Adele and Macarios. Hello, Chaldean remnants and Olympian traitors. As a representative of both worlds, allow me to welcome you to Tree of Emptiness, Atlas.
Limbo!
Right you are! It is I, the very Limbo you defeated only a short while ago. Surprised? Shocked? No need to say anything. I can tell exactly how you feel. You're positively aquiver with astonishment, yes? But as you can see, I'm indeed immortal. No matter what manner of harm is visited upon me, I will always bounce back as surely as turning a page. I never gave you permission to speak of Limbo. Be warned that I am not as lenient as Zeus. Now be quiet, or you'll find yourself burning to cinders like the page to which you've just likened yourself. What was that? A mere crypter, daring to tell me what to do? You mean you still haven't noticed? Unbelievable. You do understand that you're the Shikigami Limbo left here to keep an eye on Tree of Emptiness, yes? Well, the thread tying you to the real Limbo has been cut. You are now Limbo's last remaining clone. Impossible. I'm afraid you must be mistaken. Only that Onyoji could ever hope to sever my spells. What? It has been severed? How? What could have possibly happened?
This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. What a horrible joke. I can't believe I can only die one more time. Very well, if you excuse me, Kristaria Wodime, I believe I shall leave this in your hands. I'm going to wait over by the Tree of Emptiness and watch you all kill one another from afar.
Good grief. Incorrigible to the end. First off, let me congratulate you for prevailing against Zeus. I was sure your chances were almost non-existent. I'm impressed you managed to defeat him without losing a single member of your team.
Did you say without losing anyone?
Oh, was I mistaken? Let me see. There's you, Soapfrost, Masculate, Queen Europa, Sherlock Holmes. Was there another who deserved to be counted among the ranks of proper human history?
If it is all the same to you, I would appreciate if you kept the provocations to a minimum. Much as I would like to speak with you at length, we simply haven't the time. That Tree of Emptiness behind you is in a very precarious state, and we're not about to let all our handwork thus far be for nothing. We will be cutting it down as soon as possible, whether you like it or not.
A most practical decision. But I'm afraid you're a bit too late. My Tree of Emptiness is already complete. Before it was simply waiting to fully bloom. Now it's using over half its power to protect itself. Once the Tree of Emptiness' spark reaches that point, it's no longer possible to interfere with it externally. The only ones who can make the tree die are Zeus, who is connected to it directly, and myself, since I possess the right to use it as I see fit. And that means,
if we want to cut down the Tree of Emptiness, our only choice is to defeat you, right? Yes, that's right, Master. Kristaria Wodime, if what you say is true, then all you had to do was stay out of sight and wait. But instead, you chose to show yourself and confront Master Sophros directly. And that must mean you're prepared, aren't you?
I am. If you are able to defeat me, I'm prepared to hand over the Tree of Emptiness. Ho, you never wore an expression so fierce as the one I see on you now, Mash. You too, Sophros. I'm glad I'm finally getting to see your true self. I knew you two weren't fighting me with all you had back at Atlantis. Or at least, what I saw of you there didn't quite fit what I've heard about you before. I was told you two never give up, no matter how powerful your opponent is. That you swallow your despair and rise up to meet any challenge. I was also told that you acknowledge your fears, remember to search for answer, hold on to hope, and never doubt who you are. That you were a master who faced impossible odds and fought through them all while carrying the future of humanity on your shoulders. Ah, this is so exciting. At last, you are finally as I imagined. Now, you look just like David described. Now, you are indeed the greatest enemy I could hope to face. There's a lot I want to say to you, but it can wait until after we've beaten you. Whoa! When did you learn to talk tough like that, Sophros?
True. I never thought I'd hear you say anything like that either. And yet, strangely enough, it also sounded just like something you would say.
Indeed, Mr. Sophros does seem to be back to his old self, as he used to be at Chaldea. Right now, it's clear he's not consumed with sympathy for this Lostbelt, nor preoccupied with the mystery of the foreign god. His only focus right now is on a powerful enemy before him. Now I see. So this is what you wanted, Kristaria. A battle to determine the greatest master, and a way to entrust what's to come to Sophros without putting himself in misdoubt.
Wonderful. That's just what I was hoping for, Master of Chaldea. Though you were never one of us. Don't worry, I'm not going to pull an Akuda. I'm simply going to obliterate you here and now.
The enemy master has assumed a combat stance. Master!
Right. Let's show him what we're made of, Mash. Come, Canis, let's begin. This will be the last battle ever to be fought between humans.
God, what the hell happened to your face, Kustaria? Fucking going crazy. Well, force NPC support. God damn it.
一気火星に畳みかける。じゃあこういうのどうだ。つまんない連中だな。お母ちゃん、こういうのどうだ。
内熱衝撃板装填します。のろけがい。さあピョンなんのそのだ。江戸っ子はさつきの恋の吹き流し。クローン青い義経ヨーロそらぶん回した。ありゃりゃこれおまけがどっさりだ。俺は神明だ。俺内熱衝撃板装填します。パラドクスエフェクターセット。前に出ます。はい、何のそのだ。照準捉えました。ありゃりゃこれだ。俺落ちろ死ね。やぼてんね。示談装填します。乗った。照準捉えました。俺は神明だ。以前のようにはいきませんが。乗った。何のそのだ。神明凍結展開。これは多くの道、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールド・キャメロット。ベラボメイベラボメイ。俺死ね。
I'm not gonna make it.
バンバン祭だ。さて
行くぞ。
乗った。江戸っ子はさつきの恋の吹き流し。クローン青い義経ヨーロ
罠だ。
せい。
He's gonna bring back again. Just watch. See, I told you. So stupid. What a waste of that command spell, Victoria.
もっと高く。どこまでだって俺は飛べる。やったいカイネウス。
Whew, shit, man.
内熱衝撃板装填します。
つまんない連中だな。他にやることないの。
前に出ます。乗った。何のそのだ。そらぶん回した。ありゃりゃこれだ。
落ちろ。 どうだ
Let's see this one. Game crit stars now. I'm pretty sure Hokusai is gonna die next, and then I totally fucked up somehow.
さて
懸命
何
な判断
の園だ江戸っ子はさつきの恋の吹き流しクローン葵義経モ
なるほ
ロベラボメイ俺は
Okay, what the fuck is that shit? Wow, what a nice way to have a random crits bullshit. Fuck you, Canis.
つまんない連中だな他にやることないの
That's so bullshit right there for that random crits crap.
全ては僕の思う
受けたまわりました
ってね
That is bullshit.
これぞ大軍師の究極陣地
切り込む
俺は
君に全チップをかけよう頼むぞマグ我が腕に集え銀の腕よ私に力を宝具起動準備了解ではい
Please, break through this shit.
宝具起動すべて引き下げ我がカイナデッドエンドアガートラム
I got it.
味けろ
Chance of invincibility. Who needs Sherlock Holmes for that team-wide for piercing invincibility? Huh, thank God, Bedivere, you're awesome. Alright, time to face against Kirstaria. Damn it! These guys just won't let the hell up! What a pain in the ass! The hell's going on here? Come on, Kirstaria. What are you holding back for? Do the thing already!
What then? Do you mean what I showed you on that beach back there?
Not that, dumbass! Those meteors you love to throw around! I never got to see them in Atlantis, and I want to kick back and enjoy the show from the winning side for once!
Ah, you mean my meteor rain. Naturally, I'm not going to hold anything back. However, it would seem it's time. It would seem it's time. Excuse me so fast, but would you mind pausing for just a few seconds?
Huh? Master, the Tree of Emptiness inner magical energy is spiking rapidly. Get back, it's not safe.
Something's coming down from the sky?
Could this be the Void God's advent? Though right now, I must admit, I'm more concerned with the sky. It's neither the night sky nor outer space. It's not even the same cross-dimensional space where chaos resided. Even I can't make heads or tails of it. What is that? Did the Tree of Emptiness is inside just disappear? No, wait. I can see something inside. Is that a giant? It looks humanoid.
Indeed. That is the body of our god. That glorious form of our glorious god is the very reason we Disciples were summoned. Excellent work, Kirstaria. Excellent. I'm impressive to see a mere human accomplish this. Well done. I admit, I had my suspicions that your little tip with Chaldea may be violating your contract with the foreign god. But, as they say, all's well that ends well. And indeed, With this, humanity has fully and finally reached its end. Now, no one can stop the advent of God. The fallen God cannot take physical form on this planet. Thus, when the Tree of Emptiness grows to completion and its hollow is fully filled, the fallen God will descend to Earth using the tree as their vessel. It's just like what you did with Grand Summon Article Ether. It's over. Game, set, and match.
It's not over yet. I'll stop you right now.
I don't think so, Frost. You put up a good fight, but you're simply far too late and far too powerless. You know, since this is also incredibly thrilling, I think I'll go ahead and deal with you myself, so that Lord Kostraya need no longer... However, there is no place for the foreign god here. Look closer, Limbo. See for yourself exactly what's inside my Tree of Emptiness, what is offered to it. What are you talking about? That form inside the Tree of Emptiness is clearly the body of... What? What is this sickening divinity? How can there already be another god inside? Who is this loathsome squatter? Who is this other god?
Who the hell do you think? You forget all the times Kostraya mentioned his name? This Tree of Emptiness' name ain't Magellan. It's Atlas.
Then... You mean you summoned the divine spirit inside the tree? Atlas. Who is this Atlas?
In Greek mythology, Atlas is the name of a titan who literally carried the world on his shoulders. So you brought him here ahead of time, Kostraya?
Yes, I did. I actually summoned 3 servants in total. Canis, a divine spirit from proper human history, the Dioscuri from this Lostbelt, and Atlas, the giant who served as the foundation of the Greek well in proper human history. After coming to a mutual understanding, he agreed to aid me in my plan. A plan to build a new age of gods on this well, rather than hand it over to the foreign god. How dare you! This is a clear breach of contract! Not at all. I've obeyed every instruction the foreign god gave me. Our agreement was that I grow my Tree of Emptiness to completion. We never agreed on what was going to fill it. Despite its name, it didn't feel right having it sit there so empty, so I took the liberty of preparing a resident for it ahead of time. The halos are glowing red? You mean its communications have been cut off? This is a disaster. The foreign god will never be able to descend like this. What is the meaning of this, Kostraya Wodyne? How dare you disobey the foreign god? Obedience was not what I offered the foreign god to begin with. We merely made a deal as equals. I've never stopped believing in a future. The possibilities of humanity. My own body may no longer fit with proper human history thanks to the foreign god resurrecting me. But I never attempted to overthrow humanity for the foreign god's sake. I moved away from proper human history so I could expel them. Suffice to say, Limbo, I've always despised you, and the way you take twisted pleasure in destruction. How dare you speak to me like that, you wretched traitor!
Not so fast, idiot! You wanna get to Kostraya? You're gonna have to go through me first!
Impudent false divine spirit! This is a new low, even for a barbaric servant like yourself!
You think? I hardly gave you a second thought, Limbo. You wasted so much energy mocking everyone you could, that I knew you were gonna end up the biggest laughingstock of all.
So, does this mean the foreign god isn't going to come here often?
Correct. There is already another god occupying the one place they could manifest. So the foreign god will never appear here as long as Atlas is around. Then, does this mean Kristaria did all this to protect Earth from the foreign god? If only it were that simple. But it isn't, is it, Kristaria? At long last, I'm finally beginning to see exactly what it is you pose a great threat to.
Right you are, Sage of Chaldea. Your insight and observational skills are remarkable. All the more so considering that Zeus interfered with your mind. I have no desire for the foreign god to rule Earth, but I also refuse to submit to proper human history.
Huh? But you just said that you were going against the foreign god. That everything you've done was to help humanity's future.
Not humanity's future. Humans. I have no wish to protect proper human history, nor do I think that human history thus far has taken the optimal path. In that regard, it makes no difference whether I or the foreign god use the Tree of Emptiness, Mush. I simply can't bring myself to choose a future for proper human history. You of Chaldea are the only ones who can do that.
Is this the calm before a great flood? The kind that once drowned the world of proper human history? No, that can't be right. This will still no doubt destroy the world, but it's so very warm.
Just tell us what it is you're after already, Kristaria.
The rebirth of humanity, of course. The bell of revolution has been rung. Atlas will use the magical energy stored in the Tree of Emptiness to create new laws, new textures, and spread them across the world. As for myself, I will make my declaration. Human wisdom has met its defeat. Human power alone is simply incapable of progressing beyond this point. Humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. I, of course, am no exception. No matter how many times we deliberate, fight, and so on and so forth, our history will never become what it should. Why? It should be obvious. Humans are hopelessly limited by our lifespans. We are weak, exceedingly so. Not as individuals, but as a species. Only those within certain privileged environments are capable of love, acceptance, and respect. At its heart, human intelligence is built on taking from others, on selfishness. There is no utopia to be found down that path. Worlds such as that will always produce innocent victims. The hell that was proper human history proves as much beyond a shadow of a doubt. But that doesn't mean we can give up. For something this important, there's no room for compromise or backpedaling. What I'm after, is simple. If a utopia is beyond current human reach, then I'll revolutionize what it means to be human. If the human species is weak, then I'll make it stronger. That's right. Every human on this planet is about to be reborn. They will leave their weak human forms in favor of superior bodies, heightened senses, and marvelous potential. I will have them become something greater than human. A new life form that even surpasses the machine gods. Naturally, that goes for all of you as well. This is my plan. A new age of gods. Once everyone is like unto a god themselves, there will be no more inequality. Every last person will have the power and the responsibility to influence the world. And one day, should all these new gods be willing, they will give birth to a new intelligence who can and will lead history to a much better place. That is my conclusion. My own Operation God Destroyer. As of today, humanity will bring down the very concept of gods.
Does that young man realize what he's saying? Grr, why is the ship only picking up audio? Get Kristaria up on the screen already, damn it! Ugh, I can't believe a god unfeeling delusions that not so sweet summer child is spouting. How dare you try to make all of humanity into gods? We can't let him get away with such a dastardly... Wait, these are gods? Not monsters? Or spare parts for some nightmare ritual? No, that can't possibly be right. There's simply no way he could do that. That's the whole trouble with kids these days. They think they can attract all the votes they need just by dangling an impossible manifesto in front of... I don't think he's exaggerating, Director. It looks like he's telling the unvarnished truth. All the Stormboarders instruments support what Kerstraya is saying. Right now, Tree of Emptiness Atlas is spreading true fifth element, true ether, across the world. In fact, even as we speak, it's refining your soul's spiritual format, its grade, in other words. And not just for you, it's doing the same for Soapflash, MASH, and all the border staff too. If this keeps up, even as you retain your humanity, you guys really will turn into beings that will eventually have the same capabilities as heroic spirits. Or, to measure you on humanity scale, you'll end up being on the same level as gods. Oh, come now! Surely you jest. Master, your magical circuits are improving in both mass and quality. No, wait, it's not just you. It's happening to me, Makarios, and Adele too. Unfortunately, Mr. Woldheim, that plan is pure fantasy. You think making everyone into superior, godlike beings will usher in a new world. Even if you succeed at giving people everything they need, whether it be a sense of fulfillment, long and healthy lives, or physical abilities that eliminate the necessity for competition. So long as people retain their intelligence, there will always be conflict. The only difference will be in scale and destruction. What you are trying to do here is...
I understand that. As long as individuals exist, fighting will remain the only cycle of growth. But that will come to an end one day. With a large perspective, broader wisdom, and a longer lifespan in which to learn and grow, humanity will be sure to reach the next cycle. That's right. You will all be able to break the chains that humanity thus far could not. From here on, humans will no longer need to make gods to save them. Everyone will be a god capable of saving everyone else.
But something about this still seems...
That being said, some things will certainly be lost in service of this greater good. The greater good! This revolution will be limited to humanity on Earth as it exists right now. I don't have the power to bring back the people from proper human history. Once atlases and textures cover Earth, proper human history will be gone forever. Well and truly lost. After all, they will no longer have any place to return to, just like the foreign god cannot occupy the Tree of Emptiness with Atlas keeping them away.
What? But then your plan is essentially the same as the foreign gods. It's not any different from having wiped Earth clean.
What do you think, Silfrost? Don't you agree that my plan has merit?
Under different circumstances, I think it's incredible.
But what you're doing is no different than the foreign god. You're wrong there, Silfrost. It may not be my place to say anything, but since I'm the Elder Master, let me give you some advice. Now that you've seen this Lostbelt for yourself, you know they're no different from proper human history. They all had the same goals: unify humanity, make full use of Earth, and keep the world alive. But the foreign god is different. They don't care about Earth or humanity. You might be wondering why they bleached the world then, and you would be right too. Think back to Goesha. He didn't incinerate humanity simply to destroy it. Not really. It was only a side effect of his true goal. The same holds true for the foreign god. It seems the foreign god has taken measures to deal with me. I suppose it only makes sense that they would seek to end my life, since they can't touch the Tree of Emptiness. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid none of you have a choice. I'm going to use Tree of Emptiness Atlas to revolutionize the world before the foreign guy can break our contract. What you do next is up to you, Soapbox and Mash. You can choose this revolution and its bright future. A future of gods where everyone is happy. Or you can choose proper human history in all its bleakness. With its myriad problems and dead ends. But be warned, if you try to interfere, I will show you no mercy. This is my grand order. It is the ideal I have fought for through my entire life. If you wish to stand in its way, then you must fight with all the strength you possess. This planet's future rests upon the outcome of this battle. If you think you can choose a greater future than I, if you believe you are strong enough for me to entrust you with the Tree of Emptiness, then prove it. I am Kushtoya Wodan. As a cryptor, I denounce proper human history. I am an enemy of Chaldea, and by extension, you, and I am the leader of Team A, who fought to protect humanity.
Okay, I'm wondering if someone has another Tamamo instead of that. Or maybe just pick Ozzy, because he has the special attack against that. And then we'll give it to this Tamamo for having to get MP charging it for every turn, instead of like this 4% charge. I was so close. I almost had it, but I totally fucking bailed out front right there.
星の形、空の形、神の形、我の形。天体は空洞なり、空洞は虚空なり、虚空には神ありき。
神たるファラオの武勇を見せるとしよう。絶望による死を許す。いいだろう。少しばかり誇張してか。ゲルダの涙よ、心を溶かせ。これですな。はい、それまでよ。これですな。まったく
示談装填します。照準捉えました。
地は動かず。スターズ、コスモス、ゴッツ、アニマス、アントルム、アンバース、アニマ、アニムスフィア。
いいだろう。少しばかり誇張に。
さて、カウンティングオーバー。
地上にあってファラオに不可能なし。ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
内熱衝撃板装填します。以前のようにはいきませんが。
おや、行くかい。
神明凍結展開。これは多くの後、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。呼応せよモールダ・キャメロット。
切り込む。
もろい。
天は巡らず。これはさすがに手荒い。おや、オーケー。切り込む。どうだ。カルディアの灯火よ、強運の星よ。
褒美をやろう。
ハッピーエンドの話をしよう。君に全チップをかけよう。頼むぞ。
褒美を
楽園の
やろう。
端にようこそ。
Alright, I can't do anything, no.
全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ。ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。星の宇宙に物見の歌、楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者のみ通るのにガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
ダジャクダジャク。
天上の神々よ。明星のシルベール。おや、ご要望とあらば。悪いね。簡単なマジック。強運の星を。
Hey,
明
hit
星の
Massey.
シルベール。
Yeah, that's it. Fucking hit her.
よかろう。もろい。
これはさすがに天上の神々よ。
この程度か。地上にあってファラオに吹く。ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
さて、カウンティングオーバー。さて、カウンティングオーバー。
以前のようにはいきませんが、
褒美をやろう。
ハッピーエンドの話をしよ
神明凍結展開、これは多くの後、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールダ・キャメロット。
全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ。ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
I fucking knew it.
そこは壁もなく城もなく見せがない始まりの空。魂のありかを見せようか。
I made a bit too
ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。強運の星を。明星のシルベール。
I totally fucked up somehow.
地上にあってファラオに不可能なし。万物万象我が手中にあり。
ごよ、オーケー。
もろい。
切り込む。どうだ。これはさすがに強運の星を。
Still charging low. I'm wondering if I can just stall out for much as long as I could.
楽園の端にようこそ。
よかろう。
ご要望とあらば。星の宇宙に物見の歌、楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者のみ通るのにガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
もろい。
切り込む。天上の神々よ。
この程度か。
明星のシルベール。
この程度か。
ご要望とあらば。
装填します。
悪いね。君に全チップをかけよう。頼むぞ。
I can't do anything.
褒美をやろう。
オルテナウス疑似リンク開始。
I'm gonna
全
get
能
that
の
one
神よ、
much more defensive.
我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ。ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
神明凍結展開、これは多くの後、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールダ・キャメロット。
ダジャクダジャク。
地は動かず。スターズ、コスモス、ゴッツ、アニムス、アントル、アンバース。
I
アニムスフィア。
I just realized right now. Yeah.
さすがに
And you call you Merlin, of course.
内熱衝撃板装填します。
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
さてカウンティングオーバーです。
地上にあってファラオに不可能なし万
ハッ
物
ピーエンド
万象
のご要望
我が
とあらば
I just forgot about that.
星の宇宙に物見の楽園の端から君に聞かせる罪なき者のに通るがいいガーデン・オブ・アバロン。切り込む。
もろい。
強運の星を明星のシルベール。
内熱衝撃板装填します。以前のようにはいきませんが。
行くかい。
神明凍結展開。これは多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。呼応せよモールドキャメロット。
切り込む。
ダジャクダジャク。
豊穣の兆しよカルギアの灯火よ。
バリバリ呪うぞ。良妻ですもの。節約節約。
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。褒美を
楽園の
やろう
端に
よかろう。
ようこそ。
全能の神よ我が業を見よ。そして平服せよラムセウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。そこは壁もなく城もなく国すらない始まりの空。魂のありかを見せようか。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
もろい。
天上の神々よ
この程度か。
豊穣の兆しよ。
バリバリ呪うぞ。
オーケー。
よかろう。
切り込む。
ダジャクダジャクダジャクダジャク。
強運の星よ
この程度か。
明星のシルベール。
この程度か。
さてさて。
おや行くかい。
はやっ。うわ
切り込む。強運の星よ
この程度か。
明星のシルベール。
地上にあってファラオに不可能。ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
さてカウンティングオーバー。
Sustaining MP attacks. Yeah, okay, yeah.
最高のカードを
褒美をやろう。
楽園の端にようこそ。
ちょっかな。
全能の神よ我が業を見よ。そして平服せよラムセウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
出雲に神なり。これ自在にしてみそぎの証。信奉羽化の鏡になる。ついていると天の矢の静石。ね。
そこは壁もなく城もなく国すらない始まりの空。魂のありかを見せようか。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。カルギアの灯火よ。
Okay, you
強運の
motherfucker.
星よ。
Hey,
良妻ですもの。節約節約。バリバリ呪うぞ。
ダジャクダジャクダジャクダジャク。ファラオに歯向かう愚か者めが。
明星のシルベール。
この程度か。
豊穣の兆しよ。
良妻ですもの。節約節約。
地上にあってファラオに不可能なし万物万象我が手中にあり。
I'm a little bit scared. If it's gonna fucking like... I'm pretty sure you can. I'm just a little concerned. Because once I activate it, and if it is not enough damage, I'm pretty sure it should be enough.
リラックスリラックス。
褒美
ご
をやろう。
要望とあらば。
全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ、ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
Yep.
切り込む。
ダジャクダジャク。
天は巡らず。
I knew it.
スター
Fair
ス
enough.
コスモスゴッツアニムスアントルアンバースアニメアニムスフィアカルゲアの灯火よ。
ちょっと神様
ハッピーエンドの話をしよう。
見せちゃおうかな。出雲に神あり、これ自在にしてみそぎの証、神宝宇宙の鏡のついてみるとアマテ矢のしず石ね。
そこは壁もなく城もなく国すらない始まりの空。魂のありかを見せようか。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
もろい。
豊穣の兆しよ。おっとカルゲアの灯火よ。
この程度か。
Ah.
さてカウンティングオーバー。
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
君に全チップをかけよう。頼むぞ。
褒美をやろう。
ご要望とあらば
よかろう。全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ、ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。切り込む。
ダジャクダジャク。
これはさすがに強運の星を。
バリバリ乗ろうぞ。良妻ですもの。節約節約。
地上にあってファラオに不可能なし、万物万象我が手中にある。
オーケー。
はやっ。
切り込む。
ダジャクダジャク。
豊穣の兆しよ。
この程度か。
明星のシルベート。
この程度か。
バリバリ乗ろうぞ。ちょっと神様
楽園の端にようこそ。
見せちゃおうかな。出雲に神あり、これ自在にしてみそぎの証、神宝宇宙の鏡のついてみるとアマテラス矢のしず石ね。
星の宇宙に物見の歌、楽園の端から君に聞かせたい。罪なき者のに通るがいい。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
もろい。
地は動かず。カルゲアの灯火よ。おっと
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。褒美をやろう。光なき者。
ご要望とあらば。
全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ、ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
はやっ。
切り込む。豊穣の兆しよ。おっと
Hey,
カルゲアの灯火よ。おっと
you motherfucker. Fuck you. Stupid ass shit.
地上にあってファラオに不可能なし、万物万象我が手中にあり。
装填します。大回
豊穣の兆しよ。カルゲアの灯火よ。
My god, this crit's bullshit, alright? Fuck off.
良妻ですもの。節約節約。バリバリ乗ろうぞ。
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
ちょっと神様っぽいところ見せちゃおうかな。
I hate this crits, man. So bullshit.
出雲に神あり、これ自在にしてみそぎの証、神宝歌の鏡になる。ついていると天の矢の静石ね。
もろい。
はいや。
豊穣の兆しよ、カルギアの灯火よ。
良妻ですもの。節約節約。示弾装填します。はいや。
打弱打弱。
天上の神々よ。
この程度か。
さすがに
この程度か。褒美をやろう。光なき者。
以前のようにはいきませんが、ちょっと神様っぽいところ見せちゃおうかな。
全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ、ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
神明凍結展開。これは多くの道、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールドキャメロット。出雲に神あり、これ自在にしてみそぎの証、神宝歌の鏡になる。ついていると天の矢の静石ね。
豊穣の兆しよ、強運の星よ。
Can you just fuck off away from it?
バリバリ呪うぞ。良妻ですもの。節約節約。
地上にあってファラオに不可能なす。ファラオの真意を見るがいい。地上にあってファラオに不可能
内
な
熱衝撃版
万物万
装填します。
象我が手中
パラド
にあり。
セット。はい示弾装填します。はい照準捉えました。バーニャ突撃します。確実に。
明星のシルベール、強運の星よ。
この程度か。
オルテナウス疑似リンク開始。神明凍結展開。これは多くの道、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールドキャメロット。はいや。
もろい。
明星のシルベール、
この程度か。
天上の神々よ。
バリバリ呪うぞ。
褒美
ちょっ
をやろう。
と神様っぽいところ見せちゃおうかな。
全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ、ラムテウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
出雲に神あり、これ自在にしてみそぎの証、神宝歌の鏡になる。ついていると天の矢の静石ね。
もろい。
天は巡らず、
No.
カルギアの灯火よ。
You just have to do it, did ya?
内熱衝撃版装填します。ミカ大回人気集結。玉も恨みか。
豊穣の兆しよ、カルギアの灯火よ。
良妻ですもの。節約節約。バリバリ呪うぞ。
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。地上にあってファラオに不可能なし。万物万象我が手中にあり。
前に出ます。
よか。もろい。フ ファラオの真意を見るがいい。
内熱衝撃板装填します。ちょっと神様っぽいところ見せちゃおっかな。
よかろう。
I swear to God, this is
い
so
つもに
long,
神
guys.
は
Such
こ
a
れ
long
と
fight,
題
man.
にしてみそぎの証心配以下の鏡のついたアマテ矢の雫石ね。
I hate this fight so much.
打弱打弱打弱打弱。
I hate this fight, man.
スターズ、コスモス、ゴッツ、アニムス、アントニー、アンバース、アニメ、アニムスフィア。強運の星を。
良妻ですもの。節約節約。
褒美を
以前
やろう。
のようにはいきませんが
光なき者。全能の神よ、我が業を見よ。そして平服せよ。ラムセウムテンティース。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
神明凍結展開。これは多くの道、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールダ・キャメロット。
もろい。
地は動かず。豊穣の兆しを。
この程度か。
パラドクスエフェクターセット。時代前に出ます。
よかろう。
照準トライマブーストストライク。
打弱打弱。
倒れはしない。決して倒れは。
Fuck you, Kristoya. Oh my
地を
god.
生え。お前の見上げる太陽の輝きが世である。
Oh my god. 36 turns. After all this shit thing. It's over. But it's not over yet until we finish this Lostbelt 5.
I see. So this is the master you raised, Doctor. I feel as though I'm going to be blinded. I feel as though my heart is going to burst. I was never too worried about what might happen if I collapsed along the way, or if I lost my way altogether, because I trusted David would be there to carry on where I left off. But amazingly, it looks like there was yet another candidate stronger than me all along.
How do you like that?
Indeed, you put it up an incredible fight, Soapfrost. It can barely be said that you defeated me. Of course, that doesn't change the fact that you, like me, are so utterly spent that you can no longer stand.
So, you accept your defeat. Does that mean you're going to shut down Atlas?
I can't do that. At this point, not even my death will cause Atlas to stop. I'm afraid you're all going to become new gods, whether you want to or not. For that, I am truly sorry. But once you have, you're free to use the Tree of Emptiness however you like. There may not be a way to defeat them now, but once your senses have been heightened to godly levels, I'm sure you'll eventually find a way to stop the foreign god's plan as we.
The sky is burning. No, it's not the sky. Is it? The Tree of Emptiness is branches. Mash, Soapfrost, get back! It's not safe! The branches stretching across the sky are setting fire to the Tree of Emptiness.
What's going on? How is this happening? No. Should nothing. Okay. How is this happening? Nothing should be able to burn a fully grown Tree of Emptiness from the outside.
I know. That's why I burned it from the inside.
I burned down another tree of emptiness right from its roots and used its branches to spread our wildfire to your tree. You said the tree's branches formed a network, right? So I used them to deliver a little viral payload.
Castalia, behind you! Damn, seriously? Have you actually got eyes in the back of your head, Wodan?
I could say the same to you, Barrow. I thought you would be more careful than this. Even if you had managed to kill me now, the Chaldeans are still alive and well. So I have a hard time imagining how you could make it out of here without a servant.
Well, damn. Aren't you Mr. Calm and Collected? You figure out I was all kinds of eager to get my backstabbing on or something?
Not until just now, no. To be honest, I'm still a little shaken. You have no reason to betray me, Barrow. Why are you interfering with my plan now? Don't you understand that this will make you a god too? Once you are, you'll be free of the foreign god's control.
You really don't get it, do you? Figures. Of course you wouldn't. So hey, on a different subject, Kirsch. Why were you so scared of the British Lostbelt? It's not like you ever came by to see it for yourself, right? So how'd you know something had to be done about it?
Because I spent a while thinking on it, and realized it posed a different but equally serious threat as the foreign god themselves. No good could ever come of the Lostbelt appearing in Britain. It can only be a curse that would take this very planet down with it.
Damn, seriously? I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds like a hell of a thing. They're definitely a scary bunch, that's for damn sure. But hey, that's what made this all worthwhile. So as thanks, I'll let you in on a little secret of my own. I'll tell you why I came to your Lostbelt. You remember what I told you before about how I betrayed the Fey folk, right? Well, thanks to that, they've got it out for me real bad. In fact, all I have to do is raise my voice a bit and say, "Here I am!" and they bring divine retribution down on my ass just like that.
Makarios! Adele!
Oh good, so you know what's coming then. Awesome. Well, so long, Wodan. It's been real.
Mash! Silfas! Get out of here!
Is that Rongomeniad? Castalia's right. We need to evacuate immediately. Then again, the sheer heat is so immense that...
Everyone, this way! I can at least let all of you escape to the crown.
It's no use. We'll never make it in time. Especially given that we're all still exhausted from our earliest battles. Queen Europa can most likely only manipulate gravity and offer physical protection. It won't be nearly enough. Then again, even if we were able to teleport to Olympus proper, that light is going to punch straight through everything in its path.
No, this isn't over yet. I won't let this happen. I can't let the journey end now.
No? Well, guess you get to die after all. Especially since you're vulnerable as shit right now. Wanna know why you lost, Wodan? It's cause you were too damn busy. You never would have been so stupid as to let me handle Britain if you'd ever seen it for yourself. You know, originally, I was just gonna burn this tree of emptiness down and head back to Britain.
But after that bullshit speech you made, I pretty much had no choice but to ship your sorry ass. What was it you said? Everyone would be like a god unto themselves? That basically means it'd be a world where I couldn't kill anyone anymore, right? To hell with that. I died of boredom before the end of the first day in that new world. I don't want to be some great enlightened version of myself. I'm perfectly okay with staying a piece of shit. Fucking barrel gut, you bastard. Wodan was trying to protect us, but nah. Alright, so the rest of this chapter is just pretty much dialogue, no talk. Dialogue, no battles, just pretty much. Alright, Advent. Come on! Once I've made mincemeat of you and the ground you're gonna land on, this all be over. How? How could I not defend against these pitiful techniques of yours? I see. It's not the only Poseidon protecting you. That lightning. That gold. Impudent short-sighted whelp. How dare you hide your true strength? Shut up and just friggin' die! Damn it! Why'd you have to take so long? Now I'm gonna miss this whole Huh? The hell's going on? Is that a foreign guy getting in the way again? Why, no. No, it most certainly is not. I see. Well done, Barrel Gut. I always knew you were a traitorous wretch, but I never dreamed you could be such a snake. Good. Well then, I believe it is time I made my exit. Olympus is all but finished now, and so my fun and games must come to an end. While this unfortunately means the perfected foreign god's advent will have to wait, my true self should be able to resolve matters soon enough should he so decide. So in the meantime, I think I shall disappear, that I may focus on preparing a new picture of the hell to unleash. God damn. Sick bastard just cut his own head off. Screw that. Damn it, you better still be alive. Oh, come on, Kush, really? Shouldn't a superhuman god be able to heal up from a little cut like that? Ah well, at least it made my job easy. All that's left now is to find a body bag and a Kush-sized hole in the ground. Ah, that's more like it. Man, it feels so much better without that uptight blonde prick around. You guys think so too, right? Hey, Silkfrost, feel better now that I got rid of that thorn in your side for you? Barrow, how could you do that to him? What? You already know who I am? Well, shucks. I think I'm gonna blush. Nice to have another dutiful Kohai around. Can't say I care for the way you're glaring at me, though. Wait, you don't have a problem with me, do ya? What? Really? Come on, guys. You don't want to do this. You're obviously hanging by a thread. Hell, you still haven't even caught your breath from your fight with old Kirsch there. So if you don't stop glaring at me like that when you're all weakened and vulnerable, I won't be able to resist killing you all too, no matter how much I love my Kohai. Just kidding, even I'm not that stupid. That servant of yours rocking the black trench is the kind of guy to save his strength right up to the end, right? I can tell. So, since it's clear we end up taking each other out in the fight, how about we just have a nice friendly chat instead? Right, Mash? You know what I'm talking about, don't ya? You know that Barrel Gut's a stand-up guy who's always willing to hash things out, right?
Yes. Well, statistically speaking, your advice was... No. Even if your advice was statistically helpful, I was never able to understand why you acted the way you did at Chaldea.
Is that so? Well, damn, girl. I must have earned your irate or something fierce, huh? Oh, but don't get me wrong, Mash. I'm thrilled to see this new side of you. Why did you come here? Oh ho! As I live and breathe. A real knight in shining armor, in the flesh. Now that's a model, Master, for you. I really appreciate you stepping out of your own accord like this, you know? Not only is your bravery real inspiring, you just made it much easier to go for your... You just made it much easier to go for your throat.
Vestaria! Hey, isn't that your pretentious ass cloak on the floor? What's going on? The hell's going on here? Shit, you're bleeding like crazy. Hang in there, damn it! Don't you dare pass out! I still got a ton of stuff I gotta pay you back for. You can't die on me before I get the chance. Didn't you say you were gonna make every last one of those piece of shit gods obsolete? Come on, just cause the Olympian gods are done for doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels. You still gotta do something about the big bad foreign god, remember? Don't you dare go cold on me now.
Well, damn, that was a perfect chance, and now the mood's gone to shit. Hell, I'm almost tearing up myself. Come on, Canis, take it easy. Kurstaria's dead. No sense dwelling on the past, yeah? You know, it's not like you and I are total strangers. Hell, you're the one who brought me here from Britain. So how about you jump ship and become my servant? A woman like you be right at home in the British Lostbelt. Hell, stick with me, and there might even be a domain or two in it for you in the few.
A woman like me? It'd be one thing if the Chaldeans had killed him. Kurstaria himself said he and Selfras were on equal ground. But this wound clearly came from an ambush. That sort of thing ain't Selfras' style. You did this to him, didn't you, Barrow?
So it's gonna be like that, huh? That's enough. The battle for control of the Tree of Emptiness is over, and Chaldea has won. Surely there's nothing to gain from further infighting, is there, Barrow? Canis?
Fucking Rasputin.
Father Kotome! Good day, everyone. I believe the last time we met was back on the Russian tundra, wasn't it? In my capacity as another of the foreign god Disciples, permit me to apologize on Limbo's behalf for his rudeness. His very nature makes him incapable of not toying with the minds of others, you see. It was, I assure you, nothing personal. He treats everyone this way.
Who asked you, Rasputin? Besides, I don't recall ever signing up for your side. I'm Kurstaria Wodyme's servant. That's it. And now that he's shown his true colors, that makes me an enemy of the foreign god too.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that. And what of you, Barrow? We now know that Kurstaria, the leader of the Cryptors, was a traitor. But we also know you killed him. Can I assume this means you remain on our side? Hell yeah, you can. Like I always say, if you can't beat him, join him. I don't give two shits about the future of humanity. All I want is to have a good time. I didn't come back to life so I could become the king of Earth or anything. I'll go along with whatever you say. But then again, I can't but help but wonder if this foreign guy's really all that strong.
Kristaya saw to it that they couldn't use Magellan here. Magellan here. And that woman back in Britain sucked Seyfried's insides dry. So without a vessel for the foreign god to come down into, well, what happens next? Because it seems to me like the strongest one on this planet right now has got to be the king from my Lostbelt. Can we really believe what he's saying? I see you've done your homework. Precisely the sort of thinking I expect from a purebred hunting dog like yourself. I take it that means the British Lostbelt is now officially opposing us then, Barrow. Since you appear to have sworn loyalty to their king, can I assume you're also speaking for Britain? Hell yeah, assume away. The old lady outright told me I could do whatever I like on her behalf. Besides, that Rongomeniad we just saw was a special spell Her Majesty whipped up just for the foreign god. We were always planning on taking Olympus out, no matter what Kristaya got up to.
Understood. The foreign god only saved Kristaya from death, thus giving the foreign god control over his continued existence. And as Kristaya was the one who saved your lives, the foreign god has placed no such restrictions on you. You are therefore free to live out the remainder of your days on this dying planet as you choose. As an enemy of the foreign god, that is.
Konyanskaya! Warp me over to Britain right now! I don't know why, but I'm getting some serious chills down my spine. I gotta get out of here before it's too late!
Well now, I was wondering when I'd get to make my entrance. How? Anticlimactic? But very well, Lord Barrow. If nothing else, you do have an impressive nose for danger.
Konyanskaya, you're going to take him away from here?
Why, yes, I am! I offer a great many services. One of them includes taking a single crypto on the single trip to the Lostbelt of the choice. Alright, until the next time, Sopros et Chaldea. We at NFF Services look forward to your future patronage. Assuming you make it out of here alive, that is.
So, Konyanskaya has gone over to that side as well. Well, I suppose it was time. She is the same class as our god, after all. If she had stayed, it would only have been a matter of time until they were at each other's throats. Alright, you're up, Muramasa. Go on and swing that katana of yours. This very moment is what the foreign god chose you for.
Can't believe it. Atlas's body is.
I suppose I should assume the internal fires have left the Tree of Emptiness in a permanent state of incompletion. But never mind that now. The real problem is that something is about to manifest inside Atlas's bisected spirit origin. What the fuck? Is this the reference of that Fate Stay Night Heaven spiel? The Dark Sakura's that minions thing? I can't believe how intense this Animus aura is. I'm detecting a powerful magical reactor core signal inside the Tree of Emptiness. I can't measure its magical energy levels with my current equipment. But wait. The spirit urgent pattern. As foreseen and categorized with Trismegistus, this looks to be the final beast crown of the 7 evils of humanity. Beast 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7.
Language. Planet. Lecture. Generating. Command.
Do you read me?
Commencing. Advent.
Ha. Ah, ah, ah. Ah, 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 ah. No way! Mars Animal Spear. Are you freaking kidding me? Ah! Ha 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 ha! At long last, it's finally my turn. Thank you for waiting so patiently, my loyal disciples. And well done preparing a vessel for me to use from this empty planet. I am pleased with the work you've done, even if it did take longer than expected. So this is Earth, is it? I was curious what it was like after hearing it gave my kin so much trouble. But it doesn't look all that impressive. Just look how tiny it is. I could conquer the whole planet in less than a year. She's so tiny. Why do I feel some fake brainwaves being directed at me? Are these some of the planet's indigenous life forms? They're so weak, I guess there must be. Oh, that aside, why am I not sensing any respect directed at me? Wait, what is this pathetic body? My vessel is supposed to be made from a tree of emptiness, right? So why is this one so small? Master, I'm having a very difficult time following what's going on here, but I think the being floating above us right now is both a beast that manifested inside a tree of emptiness and the foreign god himself. But what I don't understand is... I know. I'd recognize that face anywhere. Hang on. What was her name? Marie Animal Spear, right. Yeah, so Olga Marie Animal Spear, that's her. Not Mari Spiri. Mari Spiri is the father, I think, yeah. And then that, she's the, master candidate. So Olga, alright. Well, no matter. Disciple, status report. Given what happened with Kristalia, it seems like things did not go entirely as planned.
I'm afraid Sabert's flames set Magdalene ablaze before it could become your body. While your spirit urgent is unaffected, I suspect you may be unable to make full use of your authority as a result.
So it would seem that my body still has yet to fully enclose. Well, that's alright. It will give me something to look forward to. I'm sure I can find something here that will make up for my deficiency. In fact, I see a meal before me now that should do the trick nicely. Usually, a single Lostbelt wouldn't be nearly enough to satisfy my cravings. But since I only just acquired this body, it should make for a well-balanced wake-up snack. However, seeing these insects buzzing around my appetizer is putting me right up my appetite. Are those the Chaldean stragglers? Why haven't you killed them? They certainly don't look like they're at all capable of giving my disciple any trouble. For that matter, why don't they feel me? I thought those of this planet were obliged to hold gods in reverence. Yes, I know. It would be all too easy to grind them to dust beneath my heel. But I wish to sate my curiosity from now.
Tell me, Selfrost, why do you not feel me? Aren't humans like you supposed to bow your heads, beg for enlightenment, and submit to their every whim of great and powerful beings?
Well, I mean, you're Olga Marie.
Huh? What is this earthling talking about? What is a director? Looks like you've gone mad with terror. Well then, I'll be kind and explain. I am a god who has descended upon this world from the void. I have come to right this planet's wrongs and eradicate its evil once and for all. As the ultimate ruler, I will make Earth into a single nation and personally govern every last one of its people. Yes, I am the sovereign of Earth. You Olga Marie! Now I really don't understand. First she declares she isn't Olga Marie, then she claims she is.
Just try to stay calm, Mash.
That's more like it. It sounds you finally understand my godhood. I can sense brain waves of fear and confusion. Now, the time has come for me to wipe this planet clean of everything that once existed here. The human race, the Lostbelt, you lot, my disciples, using silly heroic spirits for their vessels. Now that I have a physical body, I have no more need for any of you. Now get out of my sight, beg for mercy, and repent for your misdeeds, for even my infinite patience has finally reached its limits. Gravitational field? It's sucking up everything that isn't nailed down! Damn it, it's even bigger than tree of emptiness. If it keeps going like this, there really won't be anything left! Indeed, including us. Is this what you want, Rasputin? Is this really what you want, Rasputin? Because it seems this god of yours has no qualms about erasing even her own disciples.
If this is what my god wants, then so be it. I only wish I could have been of more use to her.
If we use that black light on her, we could... Oh, but both the gun and its ammunition are...
Yes, I'm sorry. We can't use the black barrel anymore. Besides, even if we could, I don't know if it would be enough to defeat the foreign god. At this rate, it's going to suck up not just all of Olympus, but this entire Lostbelt. So, I'm finally getting to see a beast in person. I don't need to use my noble phantasm to tell that humanity simply has no hope of defeating her. The sheer magnitude of spirit urgent alone vastly eclipses anything humanity could throw at her. There are simply no conditions that would allow for our victory. Mesopotamia, Solomon's Temple of Time. Chaldea was only able to prevail in those situations because we were an unknown factor. Indeed, our very existence was such an exception to the rule that we had an almost excessive advantage in the environments where Beast 1 and 2 appeared. Therefore, no matter how outmatched we may have been, it was always possible for us to alter our fate. But this beast is different. Give me 1 second. Chaldea in her... But this beast is different. She has Chaldea in her sights since well before we were even aware of its existence. We have therefore lost even one advantage we had in those other fights. Unfortunately, even the Storm Border were to arrive now. That beast will simply wipe them all out. It's elementary, my dear Leonardo. There's simply nothing we can do. I wish I didn't have to say this, especially after you entrusted me to see this mission through, but... I'm sorry, Mr. Saltfrost. I'm afraid there is no possible way for us to turn things around. So you're not even going to try to fight back, Earthlings? Wait, how silly of me. Of course you can't fight back. I don't know why I ever thought you could. I suppose it only makes sense. There's no version of humanity in this universe that is capable of surpassing me. All that aside, you Earthlings truly are pathetic, aren't you? You're so tiny, so powerless. It's like looking through a microscope at bacteria in a petri dish. Ah? Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something to drink. Okay. Back. Sorry, Mr. Saltfrost. I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around. Come now, it's not like you to be so rash. Well, are your powers of deduction simply nullified when you attempt to apply them to an alien being? Oh. Kirstaria? Kirstaria Wardine. I didn't realize you were still alive. We mages have magical crest. We don't go down quite so easily. Holmes, you just said there was no possible way for you to turn things around. But that all depends on how you look at it. For example, my victory would be my plan to slay the gods succeeding, and my loss would be a failing. Now that Atlas's tree has been razed to the ground, and the foreign god has descended upon this world, my plan has ended in abject failure. It represents a complete and total loss for me. There is no hope of me turning things around now. But the same is not true for you. For you, loss will be dying, and victory will be living. So even the foreign god has descended upon this world, and even if all you can do right now is run away, merely surviving is enough to ensure your victory. And since you haven't truly lost, you still have a chance to turn things around. I understand this is all a bit much coming from me, since I'm the one who invited the foreign god here in the first place. But, oh well. Now then, I think it's time I play my last card. Rest assured, I won't let the foreign god get away with this. Even if it is ultimately fated to vanish once the Tree of Emptiness is gone, I will protect Olympus right to the end. After all, I promised Zeus I would. I'll make sure the foreign god goes away, though I can only do so temporarily. Now go. Get out of here. I'm afraid you only get in my way. Are you sure? I mean, you're obviously badly hurt. Don't worry, it's not as bad as it looks. I've still got plenty of fight left in me. It's a shame you and I weren't able to finish our duel, though. We'll just have to take a rain check on that. Anyway, you've got much more work ahead of you than I do.
I'm sorry about this, so fast. I wish I didn't have to ask you to take on such enormous responsibility again. It might not be easy, but I'll give it everything I've got. Mr. Holmes.
Very well. You have my word that I will do everything in my power to give Chaldea a chance to turn things around.
Good. I'm relieved to hear that. Alright then. This is goodbye. But before you go, Mash, let me give you one word of advice. I won't deny that, as a crypter, I considered you and Silfrost my most dangerous enemies, and tried to eliminate you accordingly. I did so because, at the time, I finally believed that to be what was right. But of course, humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. So the least we can do is keep shamelessly moving toward those things we have chosen, right or wrong. I believe that's what it means to be human. We are nothing if not great at rationalizing our actions. Still, trust me when I tell you that there's no need to fight to assuage a guilty conscience or to atone for the past misdeeds. Don't forget, the reason you left Chaldea to go on a journey was to get as much out of it as possible.
I'm afraid the palace won't last much longer. We need to evacuate to the Great Shrine. Come now, quickly. Right. Kristaria. Thank you for everything you did for me at Chaldea. I wish we could have all talked a lot more.
Are they gone, Canis?
What are you, stupid? Can't you see for your... Yeah, they're gone. They left your sorry ass behind. They didn't even look back, so you don't gotta worry about them. Mess this bitch up. Hell, I'll even let you lean on me.
Thank you. That will be a big help. What about you, Father? Aren't you going to stop me? Not at all. Not unless the foreign god gives the order to eliminate you too. I'm only here to serve as a witness. Truth be told, it should be quite educational. No matter how powerful one may be, this planet still follows its own rules. This will be an excellent way for the foreign god to learn that lesson. In that case, don't mind if I do. Stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrum, amber, anima, animus beer. They are yet the lights of stars in the void. Illuminate the earth, stay aloft the sky, and illustrate the coordinates of the heavens. May you be a guide for voyagers one more time, O light of Chaldea.
Something one is not born with.
What I'm about to tell you took place in the spring when I was 15 years old. Back then, I thought the future was bright and full of hope. I was born into an environment far better than most could hope for, with talents far greater than most could dream of. I knew I was destined for great things, and that my purpose was to see them done. I'm going to create something beautiful. I'm going to create something wonderful. It was that ideal, that passion, that made me apply myself to my studies day in and day out. And as a result, I ended up in this filthy dump. I found myself in a place that would never give rise to ideals or principle of any sort. The pain in my chest made me gasp. I couldn't move my limbs at all, but fortunately, I was still able to treat the wound on my chest. Since I had been chosen to take over the family in lieu of my father, I possessed a magical crest that had been reinforced over 11 generations. It was designed to heal its bearer in the event they suffered an injury, even if they could not do so themselves. But now the crest was no longer functioning. Its mana was stagnant, like anecdotes from the curses department. I knew I must have been poisoned with an anti-mage toxin, one designed to attack its target's nerves and blood. Enough time has passed for the toxin to work through my body. Both my crest and circuits were completely dead. I could no longer counteract the toxin myself. I would require assistance. The situation couldn't have been worse. I was trapped in enemy territory, and what strength I had was fading fast. The only hope I had of surviving was if my grandfather noticed something amiss and sent someone to rescue me. The problem was, I had no way of knowing if I would last that long.
Awake, awake, awake.
Especially with more of my father's assassins looking for me. It felt as though the basement room's already pungent stench had suddenly gotten even worse. The boy was wearing a coat that someone else had clearly thrown away, and his hair hadn't been washed in years. He must have carried me here to where he lived when he found me crawling through that alley after the attempt on my life. I could only guess he thought he could make money off of me based on my clothes and appearance.
Still alive? Alive.
Hearing the boy digging through a can full of garbage, I was unable to hide my disgust. I was deeply ashamed by the fact that such a pitiful creature had saved my life.
Treasure, treasure. Here, eat.
The boy pressed a piece of completely stale, moldy bread up to my mouth and forced me to eat it, wiping the crumbs off my face with his filthy sleeves. Whatever his intent, his efforts were far from helpful. My wound had closed, but my digestive system was only barely working. Rather than helping me recover my strength, eating barely edible food like this would only upset my stomach and make my condition worse.
It's good. Eat. Eat.
But I lacked both the strength to resist and the energy to refuse, so I reluctantly opened my mouth and choked down the rock-hard bread. Once I managed to finish the food he forced upon me, the boy stepped away from my bed with a satisfied smile. He then moved to a corner of the room where he sat down cross-legged and continued his unsettling laugh. Though I was racked with both chest pain and shame about the predicament I found myself in. I realized there was nothing I could do, so I simply lay back and closed my eyes. This will all be over in a few hours anyway. My assailant was almost surely a mage, and so it would be trivial for them to track me down. It was only a matter of time until they discovered this place and came to finish me off while I was still incapacitated. Any help that might be on its way would never get here in time. Not even a god could rescue me from this situation. But my assailant never showed, even after several days had passed. I think I must have spent about 10 days on that hard wooden bed without ever getting up. My body was still paralyzed, but by that point, I must have gotten accustomed to my environment. Slowly but surely, I took stock of my current situation.
Here, eat this too.
No thanks. Could I have some water instead? The fact that the shed was located under the bridge was the only silver lining. Thanks to that,
we had access to potable water, even if it wasn't entirely clean.
That's better. Say, how long have you been living here?
Never mind. Eat, eat.
My best guess is the boy had been living here since he lost his guardian several years ago. This shed, his home, must have belonged to his guardian. Even now, I do not know if his parents abandoned him, or whether he was an orphan from birth. He had very little in the way of language skills. This was hardly surprising, given that he could not have had a single real conversation with an adult in all his life.
What's your name? Surely you must know that much.
I was shocked. I couldn't believe there was a child in this day and age, in a modern city no less, who didn't even know what names were. No, more than that. I wonder how he had managed to stay alive on his own all this time.
Scary, scary. Everyone's scary. Hide, hide. Safe here. Always safe.
As the boy told me this, he stroked a pendant he wore around his neck. Well, I'll be. Even though I couldn't use magecraft at the time, I still tell that the boy was holding a mystic code of concealment. What's more, it was an antique of incredible value. A talisman that belonged to a set of witches who have been living in England's deepest forests since even before the clock tower was founded.
Now I see.
That explains it. No wonder my assailants hadn't been able to find me. The room I'd been staying in was rendered almost completely invisible.
You're right. That really is a treasure.
I couldn't bring myself to ask the boy if his parents had lent him the talisman, or if he had discovered it for himself somewhere. But at least I now understood his situation. It was a pendant that had enabled him to carry me here from the alley without being seen. It must also have been what enabled him to safely borrow food from nearby stores. I couldn't make up my mind whether his situation was encouraging or depressing. It was thanks to that pendant that the boy had been able to survive on his own all this time. But it was also thanks to that pendant that he never needed to become involved with anyone else. In a very real sense, he had slipped through the cracks of society.
So you're, unsure of what to say to him.
I end up saying nothing.
It's okay, it's okay. It's pretty, pretty. Treasure. My treasure.
The boy gave me a big smile while gently tucking the pendant away, never grasping my true intentions. Even thinking back on it now, it still makes my chest ache. Several more days passed, and I made a number of new discoveries.
Always saw you on bridge. Always I saw.
That finally jogged my memory. This boy was the vagrant I'd seen when crossing the bridge.
Always saw you. Always.
I'll never understand what I must have seemed like to him. No, I'll go further. I should never presume to think I could understand. All I can say is that, as far as he was concerned, I was someone he'd seen crossing the bridge, and that was enough for him to help me. The boy may have been ignorant, but he wasn't stupid. In his own way, he understood the current situation too. For starters, he never once left the room. Some part of him understood that if he went outside, even with the pendant, there was a chance the people who attacked me would discover us. So for almost 2 weeks, he fed me using food he already had on hand.
Food. Food, food.
What's wrong? Is there a problem?
No problem. Safe here, safe.
I see. Well, that's alright then. Even having grown accustomed to this environment, I was beyond exhausted. I still couldn't move my limbs, and my strength was no closer to returning. It was no surprise. The food the boy was giving me had no nutritional value whatsoever. And while his pendant may have kept us safe from my assailants, it also kept us hidden from my allies. I sighed loudly in despair and closed my eyes. As I slept, I dreamed of my body rotting away like a decaying tree until I finally died.
Wake up! Wake up!
It was the first time the boy had ever woken me up of his own accord.
Food! Food! Eat! Eat up! Have lots! Lots!
Is that? My voice all but broke in shameless excitement. In his hands, the boy was carrying a basket filled to the brim with bread. And not stale, moldy, leftover bread like he'd be giving me so far. This was bread that had clearly been freshly baked that morning. This is amazing. Although, it's just bread. It's all just bread, huh? Don't misunderstand. I do appreciate this, but if you were going out anyway, it would have been nice if you had gotten some other things too.
Here! Food! Eat! Eat!
I didn't realize until later why the boy only had stale bread on hand. It was because, for the entirety of his life, he had never known any other sort of meal. I didn't understand that back then, since mine had been a life of luxury. Unfortunately, there was something else I failed to notice too. Something much, much more important. Very well, don't mind if I do. Yes, this is much easier to eat. It's great. The boy suddenly fell into the bed as he tripped on a rock, his arms clinging to the top near my pillow. He looked just like a child dozing off at their desk. Are you okay? The boy had always looked so malnourished that I hadn't even noticed how sunken his cheeks now were, or the fresh bruises on his body. He'd been living alone all this time. Of course he wouldn't have enough food on hand to feed 2 people for over 2 weeks. The only reason he had any at all was because nobody had stopped him from taking it, thanks to the pendant. The food he had on hand was only enough for one person, only enough for him to survive on his own. And ever since he'd taken me in, he'd not so much as set foot outside. He knew that if he left with the pendant, this room would no longer be safe. So he left it by my bed, to keep me safe. In an instant, it was clear as day what he had done to bring me more food. He must have been accosted and beaten over and over. And since he had barely eaten a thing ever since he took me in, the malnourished child simply could not endure such punishment.
Treasure. Save. Save.
No, he couldn't have. No one would ever do something so absurd, so patently foolish. He may have been ignorant, but he was smart. He would never willingly choose to do this. Still on the bed, the boy looked at my face as I lay there as though he was gazing at the stars.
Pretty. Pretty. Pretty.
No. No, no, no. Hang in there. Please. You have to.
So pretty.
At the time, I wasn't overcome with grief, or shock, or anger. I was just done with my own stupidity. I was completely and utterly fed up with how foolish I had been to only look at the future, without seeing or relating to those I had previously treated as though they didn't exist. Ha! Create something beautiful. Born to be a king? A chosen genius? What a joke. No. Jokes are at least funny. I had no idea what I had been talking about. I bragged endlessly about creating beautiful things, blindly trusting that simply calling them beautiful was enough. I had never once stopped to think about what it was that I considered beautiful. The boy's value hadn't changed. He had wasted his life on something so foolish, so stupid as saving me. I was from the upper crust, and he was from the bottom of the barrel. That much was clear from what we were each bound to contribute to the world in the years to come. But still, could I do what he did? Excuse me. Could I risk myself solely to keep a perfect stranger from starving? Could I risk my life without receiving anything in return? All for something I felt was beautiful. Why, of course. I can do that. I roused my body from its long slumber, very literally burning my soul for energy. I could feel my magical circuits, a gift I had had all my life up to that point, physically crumble away. Then, after paying that steep price, too little too late by then, I ate every roll the boy had brought me. That's right. If he could do it, then I had to as well. Now that he had shown me what was possible, it was incumbent upon me to pay him back. For what he lacked in property, he more than made up for in benevolence. I need to set my sights higher. I need to be stronger than ever. I shamelessly shoved the food into my mouth, silently willing myself back to life. I had no time for regret of self-pity. No, I had a job to do, and I was determined to see it done. This was entirely new motivation. I certainly wasn't born with these convictions. If my life had continued as planned, this new ideal would never have been even occurred to me. But now, I vowed to dedicate my life to it. To take all the many gifts I was given. Gifts that boy couldn't even dream of, and use them to demonstrate the value of human life for as long as my own last. After taking the full force of Kristalia Wodheim's serious light, the foreign god disappeared from the sector of space. Whether she was forced to retreat due to injury, or simply did so reflexively in response to the unexpected strike, is still unclear. Regardless, her exit meant that Olympus would be spread immediate destruction, and left only the master and the servant behind in the palace. So much for that. In retrospect, I may have set my sights a bit too high.
What the hell are you smiling about, you idiot? You look like a kid who just got caught with his hand in a candy jar.
The servant knelt down beside their master despite the insult that continued coming. Painfully aware of how he would never walk again now that the bottom half of his body had been obliterated. The master rested what remained of himself on the floor as it crumbled beneath them, and turned to look up at the sky.
Damn, that Sirius light was some serious shit. Opedias didn't do anything even close to that.
Well, this is how they were originally supposed to be used. Director Marisbury told me that in confidence. He said that if things ever looked truly bleak, I should use mine to save the world. No pressure, right? The master coughed dryly and britchily as he spoke. His cough sounded like the rattling of dead tree branches. There was no more sign of the melodic spring-like lilt that had previously been a fixture of his voice.
You don't say. And here I thought all of Chaldea's directors were weak and pathetic. Sounds like this Marisbury punk was a hell of a guy. Never would have guessed.
Yes, he was. I always did respect him, but he turned out to be far more capable than me. He may have been an avid scientist who only cared about his research, but he was also just as dangerous as you expect one of the clock tower's 12 lords to be. The master laughed, acknowledging his defeat. There was no trace of regret in his voice. I must admit, I never would have guessed that you would cooperate so willingly with Chaldea. I was so shocked. I spilled my teeth when I heard you join their side just like that. I thought that would have taken considerably longer. Part of me was even a bit jealous. For a moment, I wondered if it meant you joined anyone who defeated you.
Hey, it wasn't just like that, and they never defeated me. That was all 'cause Poseidon messed up.
Then what convinced you?
I guess it was Chaldea's leader asking me about you. Said he wanted to know what Kushchaya Wodan was like now. Not as a mage, but as a person. I think that was a big reason I helped him out this long.
Well, that doesn't sound very worth your while. You've been helping them all this time without anything in return.
Who said I didn't get anything out of it? In exchange, I had him tell me a shit ton of stories about you from your clock tower days. Ha! Some born champion you turned out to be. Turns out you were nothing but an overly cautious, stubborn as hell coward. Guess both the Dioscuri and Ophelia were completely wrong about you all along.
The servant laughed joyously. It wasn't laughter meant to mock the ones who had misunderstood the master. It was meant to commend him for keeping up such a perfect front for so long. The master looked up at his servant when he heard the laughter, squinting as if they were too bright to look upon. His eyesight had clouded over, and his breathing was early sharp and shallow.
Hey, what about you? You got anything you still want to say? Or something you still want to do? Go on, let me hear it. I'll at least do that much for you.
Something I still want to do, huh?
And so, one small piece at a time, the master told his servants about his what-ifs. He explained how each crypto was required to have an accomplishment worthy of overturning their death in order to bring them back to life. So the fallen god created environments, customized subjective worlds. Worlds that would let the dead cryptos achieve such a thing. The master was then shifted to these worlds that might have been, yet were never meant to be. And from there, he and his fellow crypto undertook the journey to restore humanity. Damn, seriously? So what, you saved the world with them?
Only as part of simulation. They were nothing compared to the real singularities. Kadak and I came to trust each other. Ophelia and I shared a laugh with each other. Akuda and I helped each other. Bell and I disagreed with each other. Pepe must have saved me dozens of times. Aru may seem frivolous, but he has a strong sense of integrity. I really enjoy getting to understand them better, getting to know their lives.
But all the time the master spent with his teammates was no more than a dream, an illusion that was broken the moment his accomplishment was complete. Now, the only one in this whole world who remembered their trying but important journeys was the master himself.
And you still treated him like that. What? Is your heart made out of stone or something?
Oh shit, Rowan. And you still treated him like that? What? Is your heart made of stone or something?
What else could I do? If I told them, they wouldn't know what to make of it. So I just kept it all to myself, like any other dream.
More precisely, he locked the experiences away so he would never look at them again, to make sure that, regardless of what happened, they would never fade away.
A journey to restore humanity, huh? That may not be the best way to put it. But if it were at all possible, I really wanted to save the world with everyone in Team A together.
The master truly loved his teammates, not as their leader, but as their friend. They're the same, the servant thought bitterly. This master and Chaldea's master were in the exact same position. As his breathing slows, one last thought that flits across the master's mind like a shooting star in the night sky. The hell were you thinking, you idiot? You didn't have to try so hard all by yourself.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Canis. But you're wrong. I was never all by myself. All humans are trying to do their best.
Like hell they are. Don't you try and pull that shit with me, Chris Tart.
There is no answer. His soul is already gone. The servant turns towards the sky as though watching a bird fly away, never to return. Mistakes flood the servant's mind. Unquenchable hatred pounds the servant's heart. The servant wasn't about to reject the past or previous actions. The pride this heroic spirit held refused to sully the very nature of a hero. After all, the servant had been the one who laughed at the world of humans, the one who mocked and wreaked havoc upon it. That aspect would never change. The servant was well aware they were a villain who hated humans, despised gods, shunned what was right, and embraced what was wrong. But even so, in spite of all that,
damn it! I'm the idiot.
Even if everything about her or him was evil, she or he remembered what she or he was meant to protect, even as she or he regretted failing to do so. She or he took up a spear of lightning, and a golden bird took flight. His next action would not be for his own glory, but to show that she was indeed the right heroic spirit for her as master.
Detached Palace. One day at the Beyond, Arrow 2 will have one last boss fight battle.
What was that light? There you are! It's about time we finally got a decent connection. Right then, this is Gordon Musa, commander and pilot of the Stormbirder. Do you read me, Selfrost? You do read me, yes? I'm just going to assume you can and tell you all what I have to say. We just finished making emergency repairs to the border and are on our way to render us with you at top speed. We're all caught up on your situation thanks to our video feed. We know that the Tree of Emptiness was burned down from the inside, that a mysterious light came down from the sky, and that the foreign god appeared from inside Atlas and claimed to be Olga Marie Animuspia. I'm still trying to make sense of it all, but never mind that for now. Which building are you all in right now? The Great Shrine? The Cronus Crown? The Cronus Crown is starting to fall apart quickly, so if you're there, hurry over to the Great Shrine immediately. We should be able to fly in and extract you from there. What's that? I'm asking the impossible? Never mind that. Just get it done.
Not to worry, Director Gordon. We've already managed to escape to the Great Shrine. Once we made our way through the Machia corridor and reached the Hanging Gardens, we intend to try and make our way down to the city.
You can't. The Great Shrine's crumbling from the bottom up. You'll never make it down to the city. Quick, does anyone know where the most stable point in the shrine is?
If it's disparity you seek, I suggest you make your way to the altar. It's in the very middle of the shrine, and where was Holy Zone used to receive Lord Zeus' revelations right to the very end. It will not be quick to fall apart.
It should take us about 20 minutes to make it to Olympian airspace, so try to evacuate to the altar by then.
Understood. Then we better be on our way before the Machia corridor starts to collapse as well.
I
I see the very little breakfast need is safe too. At any rate, hang in there until we come rescue you in the butter. Administrative Advisor, Mash, Subfrost, Macarios, Adele, Queen Europa. You had all better hang in there until Captain arrives, which he will. Guaranteed.
The sounds of destruction echo throughout Holy Vessel reigned Cronus Crown, Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodana. The cacophony of destruction reverberates through every district in Olympus. Both the crown and the shrine, once thought immutable and eternal, were falling apart before everyone's eyes. Even the great crystal mountains have begun to fracture. Rubble rained down upon the city. People huddled on the ground, not even daring to look up at the sky. The heavens had begun to collapse. Olympus itself groaned horribly, straining at the seams. The death cries of an entire city echoed across its districts. People huddled together in branch shrines, believing the destruction would stop once the gods heard their prayers. But to no avail. The rubble continued to fall, crushing some of the branch shrines and the districts surrounding them. Most people pray fervently for this disaster to come to a swift end. They pray and hope and believe that the gods would protect them. They believe that their friends and family who had suffered painful deaths would come soon, who had suffered painful deaths would soon come back to life. But in time, some people waiting for their loved ones' return began to realize the truth. No one would be revived. No one was protecting them. The Cronus Crown's collapse would continue unabated. There would be no revelations from the Great Orbital Shrine. And the gods would remain silent. For now, at long last, there were none left in Olympus. As time passed, and more people realized that the events they were experiencing portended the Lostbelt's destruction. They fell silent one after another, despair and resignation shutting their mouths tight. It was the first pall of silence, devoid of even a single prayer, that had fallen over Olympus in 10,000 years. Not much further to the altar now. The floor is fracturing. Everything's falling down to the city below. We can't use this route anymore either. Come on, let's head back to that intersection and... Look out! Don't just watch your step. Keep an eye on what's above you too. You guys are flesh and blood humans, so even a little falling debris could end up killing you. Right, I'll be fine, but Senpai is...
That goes for you too, Mash. With the Ortonox output so low right now, you're not much more durable than an ordinary human. So please, be careful.
Right, I will. The situation seems dire. While we do have some floating mystic coasts prepared, we simply no longer have enough magical energy to make use of them. We could never make them last long enough. For the Stormborder to reach us, and there's no guarantee that we wouldn't end up hurtling to our deaths.
I'm afraid I don't have much magical energy remaining either, but there may still be something I can do. Adele, Macarios, I'm going to use the last of my magical energy to provide the children of Chaldea with the defensive bounded field and a floating spout. While I would be very grateful if you would help me. Whether you do so or not is entirely up to you.
Aww. Europa?
Of course we will, Lady Europa.
What Adele said. Wait, a bounded field and a floating spout would be a huge help. But why stop at just us? Can't we all...
Operation God Destroyer is complete now. Even the Tree of Emptiness is finally gone from this Lostbelt. This is our new future. The one we've been dreaming of for a long time.
Right. Today is finally different from yesterday. I'm sure our cells are growing again for the first time in forever. We can finally pick up from where we left off 10,000 years ago. That's all we need. Besides, we're not as weak as you guys, so we can get down from the shrine on our own.
What Makayo said. Even if this Lostbelt does soon return to its original form, our time is only just beginning. Take care, everyone. Take care, Mash and So Fast. And thank you for everything. This time we spent together may have gone by in the blink of an eye, but I enjoyed every second of it.
We enjoyed it too. That's exactly why. Haha! Come on! Don't look at us like that! We all accomplished what we set out to do, right? I'll admit, there were a number of times when I thought it might be hopeless. I mean, I could tell from the first time I saw you guys that you weren't bad people. But I thought we might be screwed when it came to the operation.
But you really came through. You gave us the tomorrow we were hoping for. I can feel it right now, at this very moment. We're in a different day now than we were yesterday. We're finally growing again. This Lostbelt may end up disappearing, but even so, I still feel as though anything could happen today. This is what I wanted, what I've long since hoped to feel.
So, thanks! I know most Olympians would probably consider you guys and us to be the most evil people ever, but...
Yes, most Olympians may very well think that.
But we don't. Not one bit. And isn't that enough? We'll never forget you guys. Even if this world was never meant to exist. So long as you guys remember us proudly. That's plenty meaningful right there. We'd much rather you remember us like that than to keep on living aimlessly forever. Yes, you're right. Thank you both so much for helping us get this far. Can we at least stay together until the end?
That's very sweet of you, So Fast. But no, I'm afraid we can't.
Our end's not going to be the same as yours. Even Kustoria said so. So don't worry. We're okay going our separate ways here.
I'd like to thank you all as well. Thank you for watching over Lord Zeus' loving heart and over Olympus' pride. May you all live on, children of Chaldea. Oh, beloved Zeus in heaven, send your winds from the far reaches of humanity to aid these travelers. And may your protection keep them safe from all manner of disaster that may befall them.
It worked. We now have a defensive battlefield and a flight spell. Bye, Mash. Bye, Holmes. Bye, Foe. Bye, Silfrost. You probably human history humans might be weak, but you were still a great master anyway. You proved that beyond a doubt when you faced off with that other Master Zeus himself, called a friend, and won. You twins were both amazing too.
Oh, come on. You're lumping us both together like that? You could at least try to compliment us more individually.
Fly away, Chaldea. Fly away. And make sure you land somewhere far from here.
Give our best to everyone on the border and to all the other people in the world once you've saved them.
Man, you're amazing, Queen Europa. They're already so high up I can't even see them anymore. Do you think they'll be okay? I hope they don't get hit by any debris or anything.
Not to worry. The gods will surely protect them. Yes, I have no doubt that all the gods will fail here. And the gods from proper human history will keep them safe. Indeed, that would be lovely. Hey, Macarios,
What is this, sister?
remember how you said we can get down from the shrine on our own? You weren't very convincing.
Ah, man, I can't believe even you could tell I was lying.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you two.
There's nothing to apologize. Okay, what did he say? There's nothing to apologize for, Your Majesty. We wanted them to take them to Sky, and they did. That's all we need. Proper human history, huh? They never did tell us much about it. I wonder what it's like.
It must be a wonderful world if it managed to produce people like them.
Yeah, definitely. Then we really did do the right thing. This has got to be what's best for Olympus.
Macarios,
I'm not regretting this. I've been dreaming of this day since forever. This is exactly what we wanted. Now, everything's gonna go.
don't do this, Macarios.
I'm sorry, sister, but I've gotta say this. You know what?
What?
Don't get me wrong. I really do think this was for the best. I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. It's why I've been able to keep fighting for so long. But, all that said, I know we killed all the gods and betrayed all the other Olympians, but if there was a chance, even a tiny 1 in a billion possibility of having just one wish granted,
Macarios.
I don't even know who I could possibly grant it now that all the gods are gone, but there's a tiny, tiny part of me that feels like if somehow I could have one wish granted, then just once, I wish I could have seen beyond tomorrow. And especially, I wish I could have seen what you were like when you were all grown up.
Oh, silly. You didn't have to tell me that. I've always felt the same way.
Oh no. That really makes me heartbroken for this. Oh, shaking right now.
I can see everyone's spirit urges. It looks like they're flooding, but I'll go ahead and guide them to the deck.
Munir, switch the border over to thruster mode. Munir, switch the border over to thruster mode. Maintain airborne altitude until Sophr's team is safely inside the ship.
Roger that. No problema. Okay. Roger that. No problema. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Where were the thruster controls again?
Grr, I thought I told them to wait at the altar. Why did they have to go to the extra risk of Why did they have to go to the extra risk of using flying magecraft? Well, nothing to be done for it now. Open the deck hatch. As soon as we collect the field team, we're getting out of this airspace faster than you can say skedaddle.
Hi, yes, sorry. I'm afraid I have an emergency report to make before we get to that. A powerful spirit urgent signal is headed toward us from the Dodona Palace. It will reach the ship in 10, 9, 8...
So, we're still not out of the woods? What in the world do we have to do it now?
We actually managed to make it back. I almost can't believe it.
Right, though it looks like Erebus' defensive boundary field is gone now. Indeed, it was an absolutely perfect spell while it lasted. No question as to why she was queen of the gods. If not for her delicate magecraft, I'd rather doubt we could have flown this far in safety.
What are you just standing around for? Get in the hatch already! There's an
There's an unidentified spirit urchin headed your way right now. You'll be there in 3, 2, 1. Ah! Hey there. So, you punks really did make it out of there alive. Good. Wouldn't be any fun otherwise. But weaseling out of tight spots is one of the things you lot do best, right? Knew flying here was the right choice. So where are the twins in Europa? Aha! So they're dead. Well hey, that figures. No point in saving their lives now, right? So you went around pulling all the shit you wanted and decided to scram before it got real, huh? I like that. Hell of a lot less cleanup that way. Only problem is, you assholes got no business being the only ones to make it out of this scot-free. Don't you think, Chaldea? Canis. Canis? As in Canis, divine spirit? So she managed to survive too. Well, that's just grand. Go ahead and invite her to celebrate this victory with. Hold on. Are you sure that's really Canis? That spirit urgent pattern doesn't match the one in our records at all. While Canis did have some divinity mixed in previously, now there's divine aura emanating out of spirit urgent's every pore. It's almost like a purely divine spirit.
That's precisely it, Gordov. I don't know how this happened. Canis, as she appears now, is quite clearly a god in her own right. In fact, at this moment, it would be no exaggeration to call her a direct proxy of the sea god himself. Keep the hatch closed for now, Gordov. There's about to be a battle up here.
Huh? But why? Our battle here is
Shut up! You should have hung up a mustache a while ago, detective. Perceptive as always, though. I'll give you that. But we don't need a peanut gallery getting in our way during our fight to the death. Canis, there's no reason to fight us anymore. You've already lost your master, and any reason you may have had to protect this Lostbelt. And despite all that, you still want to fight us? You done? So now we know what your servant thinks, Frost. How about you? Got anything to say?
only this. You're not going to back down, are you?
Hell no. This unfinished business ain't gonna finish itself. You punks brought down freaking Olympus. That's huge. I couldn't ask for more worthy opponents. And hey, I might not be your typical Greek hero spirit, but it's still what I am. And if there's one thing we all know Greek heroes are about, it's revenge, ain't it? It sounds almost farcical hearing that. Farcical hearing that from you, Canis, given how much you despise Olympus. But I can't deny that your will to fight, your drive, and your spirit are more united than ever before. This must be your final destination, the one you failed to reach in your lifetime. It seems you finally arrived at your answer, Canis. Then as such, we are obligated to respond accordingly, even if this battle is entirely unnecessary. So Frost, I'm aware your magical energy has also long reached its limits, but can you still do this?
Of course.
Ha! Well, look at you. A goddamn weakling of a master glaring at me like you actually know your shit? Fine then, let's go. When we're done, all that's left of you and your servants will be dangling from my spear. One last thing. Remember my name. I am the one who made Poseidon pay for violating me and took his place as a god in recompense. I am the foolish king who lost himself to vices of killing, violence, anger, and pride. But right now, all that I do for my contracted master. I am Canis, the divine spirit. And I am the only servant who Kristalia Wodan truly trusted.
Alright. One last fight. And the rest of them will be just a bunch of like talking shit. Here we go.
神々を滅ぼした者よ、オリュンポスを制した者よ、その力、その決意、一時のものでないことをこの俺に示せるか。
アーマードマッシュ行きます。
じゃあこういうのどうだ。つまんない連中だな。おかちゃん、こういうのどうだ。
やばてるね。内熱衝撃板装填します。ひゅっこひゅっこ。示談何の装填します。江戸っ子はさつきの恋の吹き流し。下野東海道東都総州和州美濃首都街道人質諸国やりづらい。
我が武勇武器によらず我がカイナに宿れ。力つりゃ
よあ
乗った。
罠だ罠だ。
そら
つりゃこいつでつりゃ。
Oof.
よ
ぴょん
し
乗った。
罠だ。
ありゃれこれありゃれこれ。
我が武勇武器によらずつりゃつりゃ。
以前のようにはいきませんが、示談装填します。神明凍結展開。これは多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールドキャメロット。そら
つりゃ
What the fuck?
つりゃ
Are you absolutely got to be kidding me?
常に別の可能性。
Wait. Oh.
内熱衝撃板装填します。あ、さて乗った。何の園だ。江戸っ子はさつきの恋の吹き流し。切り振りクローン青い同面義経モロオの阿弥陀諸国ありゃれこれおまけがどっさりだ。
高く高くもっと星々の海へ俺は届くだろう。私は対カメラメートせい
そう
今
か
日何の園だ。
なるほど。
ありゃりゃこら
我が肉体無敵なりつ
示談想定しまった
なるほ
そら
I hate this.
我が肉体無敵なりつ
You better fuck off, man. I swear to God.
腕っこきさん以前のようにはいきませんが、何の園だ。ピョーンとつこうか。神明凍結展開。これは多くの後、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールだキャメロット。そらありゃりゃこ
我が肉体無敵なりつ
始めるとし
らさて乗った。
初歩的なことだ友よ。エレメンタリーマイ
エドックはサツキの恋の吹き流し。キリフリクロンオン青いローベル義経オノアグダ諸国せい
我が武勇武器によらずつやつや
やばてんね。前に出ます。
そうか
何の園だ。
なるほ
せい
高く高くもっと星々の海へ俺は届くだろう。ラピュタイガイナスつや
That feels good. Alright,
さてカウンティング
I
オー
think
バ
she's done now.
ー我が忠義お見せしましょう。銀の腕よ私に力を。最高のカードを
ひゃっこいひゃっこい。
君我が腕を了解です。
エドックはサツキの恋の吹き流し。しもって東海道東都長州和州美濃諸街道人質諸国やるぜ。
我が魂砕いて走る銀の流星レッドエンドアガーサン。
全力で負けちまったか。ちくしょうやるじゃねえかなあガルデア。
満足のいく結果だったか
Two times
So
for
they were
the
JoJo.
guts, huh? Nice try. I got you good. Damn. So you want to bring every human up to the gods level, huh? That explains a hell of a lot, Kushtarya. No wonder you're so desperate to get things moving. I don't know what the hell you did to yourself, but it's pretty clear you could drop dead any second. But if this plan of yours works, you'll be set for a nice, long life. Typical human thinking.
My apologies. I clearly didn't explain myself well. My plan is to make every human besides myself into gods. So this revolution won't include me. Even if my plan works flawlessly, I'll still be an ordinary human.
Huh?
Well, you might say it is similar to how a doctor can treat anyone except themselves. This revolutionary rain of meteors I'm envisioning requires a central spellcaster to work. One can't turn both the central axle and the world that turns around it at the same time. Really, if I'm being completely honest, my plan isn't entirely foolproof. But when I shared it with Atlas, warts and all, he also reluctantly agreed to it. That being said, I have no intention of dying anytime soon. I plan to keep on living for as long as I'm able. Besides, if my plan goes well, then it will be everyone else's turn to shine. And who knows, I may end up living for quite some time yet, since I plan on taking it nice and easy in my retirement.
What the hell? He's gotta be shitting me. He wants to make everyone else in the world ascend to the next plane of existence, at the cost of him becoming the only relic of the past. After all, the hard work he's putting into making a new world, he's gonna be the only one left behind? No freaking way. I don't believe it. I don't even want to think about it. That's not just cruel. It's goddamn brutal. But he talks about it like it's the most natural thing in the world. He sounded so excited about it. Like he couldn't wait for this new, better version of humanity to arrive.
Your twisted nature couldn't be more plain, Canis. Both your heart and your mind are warped beyond redemption. Even becoming a god has done nothing to fix that.
You were never anything more than recipient of the sea god's love. How could you possibly begin to match us? You never even understood Lord Custodia's vision for bringing about a new age of gods. All you ever did was flare about in anger, curse the gods, and think of nothing but yourself.
They were right. That sums up my whole life right there. That's why I couldn't ever get behind his goddamn plan. Not really. I never once thought it was a good idea. Shit. The idea of a world where everyone's a god sounds like my own personal hell on earth, and I told him as much. But all that aside, he still lived a life I can't even imagine. He had a dream so huge and stupid nobody else would even think about trying to make it reality. Seriously, how messed up is it that he got me, of all people, to want to support someone? And not just anyone. A stuck-up whale is my oyster type like him. Crap. No wonder these Chaldea dipshits beat me. The second that happened, my fate was sealed. Ha! Well, this is pathetic. Can't believe I picked a fight then, went and lost it. But you know, it's okay. At least I got to go out swinging. This tile, nice little bow on my stupid summoning. Now I don't have to worry about you punks or him anymore. Alright, assholes. This is where I'm getting off. See you all in hell. On second thought, guess you won't be going to our hell, huh, Soulfrost? Well, whatever. Point is, I'll be waiting for you on the other side. Make sure you stop by once you're all done with everything here. I'll have a few words of praise for you about how you pulled off a hell of a thing. Especially for a human. We have confirmed. Canis is gone. This Lostbelt's last remaining threat has now been completely neutralized. Yeah.
Old man, you know we're back online now, right?
We are? Damn it, Spinach! Why didn't you say so sooner? You've got to communicate. Testing. I trust you can all hear me? Once I open the hatch, which I'm about to do in a moment, I want you all to get inside the border double quick. As soon as we confirm your safe return, we'll be getting out of this airspace immediately. You can make your report to me after you have a good, long rest. However, there is just one thing I would like to say first. Well done, Soulfrost. Well done, Mash. Well done, Administrative Advisor. Now that you have returned,
I am officially marking the following mission complete. Order Lostbelt number 5, and its sub-order, those who cross the Sea of Stars. I dare say your performance deserves full marks across the board. I'd advise you all to look forward to your next bonus, for I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Come on, MASH. Let's go home. Right. Congratulations on the job well done, Master. The journey continues. Let's finish the rest of it. Fucking 3 arrows. Guess I can't just keep gazing at the sky forever. Now that it looks like the Tree of Emptiness is gone, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before Olympus disappears. I suppose I should be glad that this whole frontier area didn't fall apart the moment Zeus died. Alrighty, I'd better get a move on before the ground here starts to collapse. At least I don't have to wonder where to go next. While I do wish I could go be with David in South America, there's something I still have to take care of first. Tee-hee, I'm not usually one for revenge. But I'll make an exception for you, Barrow Gut. Screams, shrieks, groans, despair, misery, fury. This is what should have been heard all across Olympus, the supposed utopia of the gods. I was so looking forward to basking in them, to feeling joy and sorrow with my entire being as I laughed at the humans collapsing into tears. I was all set to point and laugh, to mock these humans as they succumbed to despair. But I never expected to encounter someone who could use Rojinsu in such a manner. Beautiful carnivore. I can feel my entrails waking up from their slumber. It's been a long time indeed since I last made use of my true body. I must admit, I am most vexed with myself. I never imagined one could break my life extension in that way. But no, never mind that for now. Yes, right now. I believe a moment of silence for the mechanical gods who flew here from a distant realm is in order. Imagine! To think the end of the gods' pets would come like this. The gods must be proud indeed, knowing they kept these pets around for 10,000 years for this. Ah, what a truly dreadful thought. Academia, art, did those so-called legacies amount to anything whatsoever? They gave their pets eternal life, and even limited their value. And in the end, they were done in by rogues they utterly failed to control. A mere 2 specimens of humanity, larvae left over from the Olympia Machia, who went and betrayed their keepers. And now that Chaldia and company have had their way with them, not a trace remains. What else could one call this but a glorious farce? I come not to bury the gods, but to praise them. Rest assured, this alter ego will never forget these old ones' final moments, nor their death throes. Indeed, now that I've witnessed this beautiful sight, I can scarcely restrain myself any longer. Yes, next time, I, Ashia Doman, shall entertain the god-slaying master in my true domain, the bowels of hell itself. Oh shit.
Zero cell system are all green. Magical reactors are operating in parallel. Hull damage minimal. In that case, there won't be any need for us to do a rush dive. We'll be able to begin a standard one before this Lostbelt disappears. Munir, would you mind giving me a hand?
You got it, Captain. No, wait. Forget it just giving you a hand. You only just got back on your feet, so you should still be taking it easy for a while. Just sit back and let me handle things for now.
Solid as a seashell. Now go take a seat in the co-pilot's chair, and don't forget your seatbelt.
Roger that. Solid as a seashell?
What do you say? Solid as a seashell. Dimension-piercing battleship Stormborder, preparing for deployment. Setting a return course to the Wandering Sea. All hands, I'll do my best to keep the ship steady, but stay alert just in case.
Now that I think about it, we really got our work cut out for us, don't we? Getting through Atlantis and Olympus was a huge ordeal. Unfortunately, the Atlantic Lostbelt's Tree of Emptiness is technically gone now. But its branches covering Earth's stratosphere haven't gone anywhere. The foreign god made her descend. And if that wasn't bad enough, she manifested with the spirit urchin of Beast 7, one of the evils of humanity. At one point, the foreign god was one step away from wiping out all of Olympus and taking you guys with it. But a massive burst of magical energy fired at her formed the palace put a stop to that. That seems to have done some damage to her, from the looks of it. Since she responded by pulling in two of the alter egos, Rasputin and Senji Muramasa, and disappearing. At the moment, not even the border's sensors can determine where they might have gone. Just as well, really, seeing how we wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell if she tried to attack us now. Anyway, the big problems now are the foreign god's name and what she looks like.
You Olga Marie.
Yes, I recognize that face from the database. That was definitely Olga Marie Animuspia. But how? She was killed right after bombing a Chaldea that began the incineration of humanity. What in the world is going on here? Don't tell me this means Chaldea was behind everything after all. Did I really make a once-in-a-lifetime bet on an organization that's trying to wipe out all of humanity?
We're not sure about that either. Was that really Director Olga Marie? A fair question. Given both yours and her reactions, it seems safe to say there are strong similarities. But there were also too many clear differences to say they are the same person. First, we know that the foreign god manifested in the spitting image of Olga Marie, and that she also claimed the former director's name as her own. Second, her spirit origin was far from human. She is neither heroic spirit nor servant. The foreign god manifested as a beast. Third, she did not know who you are, and she also seemed unfamiliar with Earth culture and language. Taking all this into account, it would seem Beast 7 shares many similarities with Beast 1, Goesha, and the way he manifested using King Solomon's body.
Then, the foreign god is using Olga Marie Animuspia's body in the same way? The body of the daughter of the Animuspia family, which was formerly among the lords of the Clock Tower. This is a disaster. A highly talented mage's body being used as a vessel. Then, if I had happened to be there, that means the foreign god would have looked like me.
Aww. Calm down, Gordov. I do understand the terror of the unknown. But remember, we do know a great deal about what sort of person Olga Marie Animuspia was. While we may not yet know what it is, we can assume there is a reason why the foreign god chose to resemble her. Fortunately, all the Animuspia data was also brought along to Chaldea base. so I'll start going over it once we've returned to the Wandering Sea. I have no doubt we'll find some manner of clue in there that will help lead us to the truth.
I see. You're certainly taking all this in stride, Administrative Advisor. Actually, I just had a thought. According to the report I just received, it looks like one effect of your being struck by Zeus's lightning was a reduction in brain power. So, how are you doing now? Are you back to your old self yet? Or are you still something out of a moron?
What? Not to worry, Gordon. My brain power has very nearly fully recovered. Though I will say, seeing what it's like to voice and act upon my thoughts immediately has been a most novel and informative experience.
Never mind that now, Holmes. You've been pushing yourself way too hard for way too long. That's right. I know all about how you've been using your noble phantasm this whole time to come up with ways out of all the jams you guys kept finding yourself in. I know we've got stuff to talk about, but it can wait until after you've gotten your ass into the recovery pod. That goes for talking to Kadok in the infirmary too. It can all wait until everyone's recovered.
Wait, did you say Kadok? Kadok?
What are you talking about? Do you mean Kadok's on the storm border right now? And he's in the infirmary?
Oh, right. It completely slipped my mind. We have Kadok in custody right now. It was right before we were about to make our way up the altar. Don't worry. You've nothing to fear from me. I'm not carrying any NFF services weapons this time. I simply have a delivery for you. This delivery is not from me as a disciple of the foreign god. Rather, it is from Rasputin, or at least what remains of his heroic spirit within me.
Take care of Kadok for me, would ya?
That mischievous Grand Duchess was more worried about someone else's future than her own safety. So rather than letting him die, I thought I should at least give him a fighting chance. But do let him know that this was a one-time only occurrence. I won't be lifting a finger to help him again. Not even if I should happen to see wild dogs eating him alive.
And just like that, he dropped Kadok right where he stood and left him. He was covered in blood and obviously in critical condition, so we got him to the infirmary right away.
But by the time we got out of there to collect him, Rasputin was already long gone. That said, Kadok is still in a coma. We're not sure what will happen next with him. According to Nemo Nurse's diagnosis, we'll need to keep him in the recovery pod for several months. But once he is fully recovered, mark my words, I'll be grilling him for every bit of info he's got.
Well, don't forget, Kadok's not the only one who needs to rest, Gordy. We could all use a good long break.
Yes, very true. Between Atlantis and Olympus, we have completed our largest and most trying operation to date. While we may indeed have our work cut out for us, I think we more than earned the right to take some time to relax and recover.
You said it! Okay, so Mash, I'd like to say a little something too. Congratulations on resolving the 5th Lostbelt. Like we said, we definitely still have our work cut out for us, but you don't have to worry about that yet. Right now, your only job is to get some rest. We can talk turkey over what comes next once Holmes is back to his old self. Alright, that's all from me from now. Great work, you two. You did awesome. Senpai, could I talk to you for just a little bit before we go back to our rooms? Thank you, Senpai. I was just wondering something. What do you make of the foreign guard? Of you, Olga Marie? I know Holmes thinks she's an imposter who only looks like Director Olga Marie, but I can't help but think.
Me too.
Right? I don't have anything concrete I can point to explain it, but I felt the same way. there's just something about you, Olga Marie, that tells me she's the same Olga Marie we knew. Yeah, and that makes this an even bigger concern. Huh? What do you mean? Well, now we've got to figure out how we're going to save her. Right! That's exactly right, Master! I know we still have a lot of thinking to do about what we can do and what we should do. But if our goal is to save her rather than defeat her, I'm more than willing to fight. Never thought I'd end up back here. Guess even the servants' life's full of surprises. So what happened to Foreign God? How come she locked herself up in the workshop as soon as we got here? She sure settled down quick for all that heavy breathing she was doing. What's the deal? She having second thoughts after one of the earthlings she treated like fleas managed to cut her.
Tried to be understanding. She couldn't help but be surprised when something she considered merely part of the scenery decided to attack her. If a pebble laying on the ground jumped up and slashed at you out of nowhere, wouldn't you be shocked too?
Suppose so. Hell, I'd lose my shit if the eggplant I was having for breakfast suddenly came at me with a sledgehammer. Guess it's a lot like how some people are scared of bees. So what? This means Kristalia's serious-like thing actually.
Of course, it didn't actually hurt the Foreign God. Why, it didn't even come close to breaking her skin. But the fact that there were beings willing to attack her at all has made her stop and rethink her approach. She's currently using this terminal to review human history, even if she doesn't seem very happy about it. You know, in a sense, Kristalia saved our lives as well. Thanks to him, the Foreign God is now willing to let us stay on as her disciples. Never mind that we've lost contact with Limbo for the moment.
Huh. Isn't the Foreign God supposed to be all-powerful or some such? What would she still be needing us for?
I'm getting to that. You see, there are two surprising things the Foreign God learned from these events. The fact that there are insects on this world willing to attack her, reckless and meaningless as those attempts may be, and that there exists a lance of light capable of burning down even the trees of emptiness. She'd like you to go investigate the latter, and destroy it, of course. She says she'll teleport you there as soon as she's ready.
That's so. Well, can't be any worse than here. No telling when this place will up and disappear anyway. So how about you? You gonna stay here as her escort?
No, I'll be heading out shortly myself. The Foreign God desires a more durable vessel than the one she has now, so she's sending me out to procure one.
Ain't she plain strong as she is? Hell, it's not even possible to make a stronger spirit urgent anywhere on Earth, right? So where you gonna find one better than what she's already got?
Not to worry, I already have just the place in mind. You see, the machine gods of Atlantis aren't the only foreign beings who made their way to this planet in ages long past. There is a golden sea of trees in the belly of the underworld known as Sibaoba that is home to an enormous beast. It slumbers in the world where Alaya is stable, and wriggles to life in the world where Gaia shows itself. I speak, of course, of an ultimate one, a being who came here from the Oort cloud.
Okay, let's finish this for the Lostbelt, wrap this up, and we're gonna see you that part of that later future.
Hey, you up now? Oh, good, you are. There's something you ought to see. I went back and forth on whether to bring this to you, but ultimately, I thought you deserved to see it. Sorry to spring this on you when you're still tired, but I didn't think it could wait.
So, what is it I ought to see?
A video file from the God Destroy Alliance base. According to the timestamp, it was recorded after you guys took Demeter out. We're not sure exactly when it was sent, but it looks like it was right before you guys left for the Great Orbital Shrine. I don't know how they pulled it off, but the file's in the exact same format we use at Chodea. Man, Olympian tech never ceases to impress me. Anyway, I already sent the file over to your personal terminal. We already watched it ourselves, but I'm not going to demand you to do the same. Whether you do or not, it's totally up to you. Though I will say that Gordov decided to designate them as MIA after watching it himself. Said something along the lines of, "We can't confirm their deaths, so who's to say they won't come back to us again someday?" Like director, like field team, I guess. But hey, who am I to judge? We could all stand to get a little sentimental now and then. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for now. Later.
Good. The camera's working fine. Testing, testing. Good. No problems with audio either. Okay, I'm all set to record. Now I've just gotta make sure no one sees me. It's not that I want to cause any infighting, but every organization needs to perform an internal review sometimes. And while the God Destroyer Alliance might not have many members, it's still an organization. We should know how everyone really feels. I don't like the idea of surreptitiously filming them. Okay. Surreptitiously filming them. But then again, Edison said it was perfectly normal. Anyway, this will only be for reference, nothing more.
Makarios? Where are you? I could have sworn he was around here. Maybe he's in a private room?
What's up, Adele? Something the matter?
I wanted to ask Makarios to help me with something, but I can't find him anywhere.
Gotcha. Maybe I could help instead.
I appreciate the offer, but that's okay. You see, I wanted to ask him to fine-tune your Amash Cleonomia.
Right. Yeah. I probably couldn't be much help with that. Not exactly my area of expertise.
Well, I wouldn't say Makarios and I are experts either.
Maybe not. But how many years have you guys been fiddling with that stuff?
1,000 or so. Oh, right. I guess in other words, that would make us expert, right? Huh?
You can say that again.
I see your point.
There you are, sister. Hey, Musashi.
Oh, good. Listen, Makarios.
You want me to fine-tune the Cleonomia, right? I'll take care of it. Gotta make sure there won't be any after effects and such, after all. Anyway, on a different subject. Can I ask you two something?
What is it?
Well, I was just wondering what you think of the Chaldeans.
What do you mean? They're our comrades in arms. They've been invaluable to our alliance.
How about you, Musashi? Good question. Maybe travel companions? No, that's not quite right. I honestly don't know much about Holmes. I barely even talked to any of the other staff either. But I do love Sofrost. And Mash too, of course. Really? I just love them both to bits.
Oh my.
At first, I didn't really know anyone besides Sofrost. And my first impression of Mash was basically just that she seemed really earnest. But then, once I saw how she fought, I got it. The whole reason Sofrost is able to live the way he does is because she's been with her all this time. Once I figured that out, well, I just fell in love with Mash. Now I can't help but smile whenever I see her and Sofrost doing their best together.
That's so touching. I just love that sort of thing.
You think? I don't really get the appeal myself. Anyway, next question. Are there any requests you'd like to make of them? Maybe something you feel like they could be doing better. Huh? What kind of question is that? We doing some kind of performance review thing?
Of course not. I'm just making conversation. I wasn't asking for any particular reason. Nope.
Oh, really? Okay, if you say so. Anyway, let's see. Something I'd like to request from them, huh? I guess I'd like them to do all the living I won't be able... Huh? On second thought, just forget that one. Here, let me try again. I think what I'd like to request from them is that they live happy lives.
What kind of answer is that? That's not even a request.
I want them to live as long and as happily together as possible, so that they never have to go through any pain or hardships. That's the one and only request I have for them.
Well, that was helpful.
Eh?
You really do love those two, don't you?
Absolutely. Like I said, I love them to pieces. So, what about you two? What do you think of Mash and Supras?
Us?
You're the only other ones here. You're the only other ones here, aren't you?
Well, we definitely couldn't have beaten Demeter without them. In fact, the Alliance never actually managed to destroy a single god until they came along. So...
I like them personally, and I don't just mean as comrades and Alliance members.
Sister!
If we hadn't met them while we were in the middle of fighting a war, I even think we could have been friends.
Well, of course you could. Honestly, I thought you were all already friends, aren't you?
I'm not sure. I hope so.
Well, I could have sworn you were, so... I've got it. Somebody mark the date, because this gal just had herself a fantastic idea.
Well, where'd that come from? And what is this idea anyway?
I'm so glad you asked. Like I said, it's fantastic. My idea is, once Operation God Destroyer is well and truly done, we should have a party to celebrate. One with lots of yummy food.
You're right. That does sound lovely.
Sure, but that only works if the operation goes off without a hitch. We don't have any casualties, and we have enough time to put something like that together. So I'm not sure I called it fantas.
It's gonna go great. We're gonna make it go great.
Good point. I mean, the plan is for the operation to work out as intended, so why not?
Then I'll have to start thinking of what to make for the occasion. Now what would be good for a party?
Udon! Definitely udon. For the rest, we'll have to go around asking everyone else what their favorite foods are. Oh, and we'll definitely have to get Gordoff to make their special omelets. This party's gonna be so much fun. Just you wait. End of video recording. That's the end of that Lostbelt 5 Olympus. Now there's something weird on that dot. Looks like a bit of a black hole in it. But we got this one. Craft Essence together tomorrow. Canis, Adele, Makarios, Musashi, and Kurstaria having a supper party. Gain 2 stars. Oh wow, okay. Oh y'all. Oh, I have a good idea. It's a super idea with no strings attached whatsoever. If Operation God Destroyer goes as planned and we all come out unscathed, let's hold a banquet with plenty of delicious food. While victory was achieved, the promise could not be fulfilled. This is a record of the past, dazzling memories that remain within your heart. And yet, if such a future was possible, you humans would surely look at the scenes and use it as your strength to rise up. just like a certain ordinary master who managed to achieve so many impossible things, as he rests inside a coffin of uncertainty and the void. Cool. Anyway, that's the end of the Lostbelt 5, and we are now approaching into some sort of bit of black hole, which it will be continuing Lostbelt 5.5 High Kyo. That will be coming around approximately by the end of November or beginning of December for the release date. So, that's it for now. I am going to bed now. It's been like streaming for like 4 hours now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next part of the live stream for the full walkthrough. Well, not full walkthrough, but just a bit of a part of the series of that. So I'll see you guys in the next part of the live stream video. So peace out and have a good night.